Peace and Pan-Africanism. This is Dr. Umar Ifa Tunde coming to you live and direct, New York City, Ethiopian World Federation 2026 conference. The time has come for the lions to tell our own story, and this is the lion's voice.
Universally unfold, be told, blessed love, this is Etege Idama, and it's time for the lioness and the lions, for I voices and stories to be told. This is the lion's voice, Rastafari.
We're endorsing the lion's voice. Big up Raspasi. See?
Big up Raspasi.
It is time for the lion to tell our own story. Yes, sir.
Like this. There is a land far, far away. There is no night. There's only day. Look into the book of life. And you will see that there's a land far, far away. Raspasi! That there's a land far, far away. Speak lion. Let's speak lion. Roar lion. Roar every time.
I will never stop, hail the Most High. And I will never stop, call Rastafari. Blessed love, this is Kushite representing for the Lion's Voice. We are here to tell our own story, Rastafari.
Now drop your guard when it come to them, ya youth, ya. Them fully guard up and them quick fi execute, ya. Now drop your guard when it come to them, ya youth, ya. The one will laugh, I'm same one of the shooter. Watching them, this is Rasta Jai representing for the Lion Voice Network. This is the time when the lion gets to tell our own story. Haile Selassie.
What are you waiting for? Come together, calling from near and far. Know who you are. What are you waiting for? Rally up, it takes the dust. What are you waiting for? Ancestors paved the way for us. Yes, I am Ketis Oyonde, asking, what are you waiting for to come together? The time has come for the lions to tell our own story. This is the Lion's Voice.
Yes, job people, this is Michael Shamai representing. I will say, hear the Lion Voice, saying it is time for the lions and the lionesses to tell their own story. King David killed Goliath with a stone, we original dread.
Well, Lion Voice, tell them that's the people first choice. Lion Voice, make the lioness them feel nice. Lion Voice, with the lion cubs we sacrifice. Lion Voice, got to show the people them the life. Lion Voice. Yeah. I shall lift up I eyes unto the hills from whence cometh I help. Them could never conquer the mountains. Thousands of years and counting. Ethiopia rise again unto the world. now we are announcing. Them a plan for war, we a plan for peace. And now we see them wanna go dismantle the base. When the trumpet sound and the violence cease, how we say one go build up the cities. Well, them a plan for war, we a plan for peace. And now we see them wanna go dismantle the base. Rastafari crown as the Prince of Peace. Him tell the youths them fi build up them countries. Well, for unto us a son was born and a child was given, and the government shall be upon his shoulders, and his name shall be called the Wonderful Counselor, Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace. Them call him Christopher when he was born, rain fall from the sky. Them call him Christopher when he was grown, in airplanes he fly. They call him Christopher lion break the chain, beat not, don't cry. Them call him Christopher read the Revelation chapter 5 verse 5. Then born near the city of Harar, the inspiration for Bob Marley's guitar. People crowd him like some big superstar. It no matter if England or Cote d'Ivoire, no matter if you're brown or black like Qatar. Haile Selassie say fi end all tribal war. A time fi gather Mount Zion, fi drive solar car from the car straight to Zanzibar. Who we are, the sons of Christopher when he was born, rain fall from the sky. Christopher when he was grown, in airplanes he fly. Then Christopher the lion break the chain, weep not, don't cry. Then Christopher read the Revelation.
iRoots Records, an online shop for reggae and dub vinyl, CDs and Rastafari books. Rastafari owned and operated for over 15 years. We ship worldwide. We have many titles from Frontline Publications in stock. We have 50 plus Akabeka Midnight titles, which we believe is the most of any shop in the world. Special invite for the Lion Pride. Use code Lion's Voice and save 10% store-wide. If you spend $125 or more, the discount goes up to 15%. Visit us online at www.irootsrecords.com. The time has come.
Orlando, Central Florida, are you ready? The African Culture School Incorporated and Heights of Life Music proudly presents the 4th annual Marcus Garvey Music Fest, Saturday, August 15th at Ras State in Claremont, Florida, featuring Lutan Fire, backed by Rhythm Rebel Band. Also performing live, Andy Heights, Ainike, Esau, One Journey, Javerse, Royal Chanter, Asafa Widimaya, and many more incredible artists. Vibes provided by Unity Sound, Rastek, Royal Ethiopian Sound, Jawise, and Blackfoot Movements. Hosted by Davini, but it's more than just music. Enjoy Community Entrepreneur Awards, Organic Seed Exchange, live art installation and auction, back to school giveaways, free health screenings. Come celebrate the legacy and vision of the Honorable Marcus Mosiah Garvey. Saturday, August 15th, sponsored by Branding 101, One Trust Home Loans, and Cypress Cove Marina and Resort.
In the haunting echoes of violence against women in St. Anne, Jamaica, a mysterious vigilante emerges. For the Woman Painted Purple unfurls a gripping narrative of empowerment, retribution, and the pursuit of justice. Brenda and her group sisters bond together in therapy over their common struggles, but soon their group becomes the subject of an investigation. As the vigilante's actions escalate, the relentless detective, Officer Woodley, races to unmask the mystifying figure. For the Woman Painted Purple is a pulse-pounding tale that explores the boundaries of justice, revenge, and the fighting spirit. This thrilling saga delves into the complexities of dealing with mental health, domestic abuse, and finding love after. Own your copy today. Visit www.devanigreen.com.
This is The Black Heart Man, Rastafari children's picture book, with hand-painted illustrations and rhythmic storytelling. This is a journey you do not want to miss. We offer worldwide shipping, so order your copy today at www.degrierspaintbrush.com. Alternatively, you can order your copy from TikTok. If you are interested in stocking the book, please email us at degrierspaintbrush@gmail.com. Give thanks.
Jamaica to Toronto. The Rastafest movement rises again. This August 15 and 16, Rastafest 2026 returns to Little Jamaica in Toronto with reggae music, Rastafari culture, Ital food, arts, reasoning, and unity. But this year, it's more than a festival. Rastafest is partnering with the Rastafari Mansions and organizations to support the Relief, Rebuild, Rise initiative, helping Rastafari families and communities rebuild, resist the risk of disasters, and to rise to their true potential. This is culture with a cause. Full joy the music, support the mission. Donate to the Relief, Rebuild, Rise GoFundMe through the link in the RMO Jamaica Instagram profile. Rastafari.
Save the date. Join us on Sunday, August 9th, 2026 at 5 p.m. for the 25th annual fundraiser for the Shashamane Foundation at the Silver Spring Civic Center, Great Buffalo Hall in Silver Spring, Maryland. Come be a part of an evening that helps transform lives by supporting quality education and sustainable development at the JRDC School in Shashamane, Ethiopia. Your presence and generosity help empower children, strengthen communities, and build a brighter future. Can't attend? You can still make a difference by donating at shashamane.org or by scanning the event QR code. Mark your calendar, bring your family and friends, and let's build a lasting legacy together. We'll see you there. Rastafari TV and Sight Media are proud sponsors of the Shashamane Foundation.
Greetings in that divine name of His Imperial Majesty, Emperor Haile Selassie I. Glory and honor in the name of His chosen Queen, Empress Waziri Menen. My name is Kwasi Bansu, aka the Chazmach Kwasi, aka Ras Kwasi, aka the Reading Ras, aka the Pan-African Happy Man, creative industry attorney. I'm an author, I'm an artist, I'm an actionist, and right now I am the host of Lion Talk Live. Welcome to Lion Talk Live and welcome to the Lion Voice Network, where the lions are telling our own story. Tonight is a mighty night. I've been working hard for our global Lion Pride, and tonight I have a living legend. I'm saying that, you know what I mean, because I have the right to say that because I know the brethren work. So I'm so excited to bring tonight's guest. It's keeping the theme that we've been hammering here about food sovereignty, Black food sovereignty, Rastafari food sovereignty as the foundation for the alternative to Babylon that is emerging, the new reality or the return, the Sankofa to the beginning that is emerging. It starts with our food, it starts with land, it starts with reclaiming and healing that relationship as Black people, the first people of the earth, to Mother Earth, to Mama Africa, to the whole globe. So tonight we're gonna be going deep. Get your ital snacks, get your meditation ready, because tonight is gonna be a powerful night. A non-Rastafari guest, but a Pan-African guest. And I told them my goal is to affirm the Pan-African roots of Rastafari and to highlight the connection. You know, there's an unending connection between Rastafari, and a Pan-African Roots, Marcus Garvey, Leonard Howell. These are our founding fathers. Archibald Dunkley. We just had a brethren representing the lineage of Joseph Hibbert, who we are now learning is one of the foundation pillars. So we have so much Pan-African content scheduled for this month, and this is really how we're kicking it off. We started with my good brother Bingy Sean. Big up everybody who is loving that episode. We had brethren Ras Sabakan, Sister Jazz, Empress Jasmine, and tonight, we just keep on climbing. So before I bring on the guests, let me just say big up to all of the sponsors. Big up to the Global Lion Pride. We have the best chat group on the planet. And I can say that I'm biased. If you most of you watch on the replay, but our live, it's an experience. The comment section, our regulars, they'll be here shortly. Always keep it live, always keep it up full. So we want to just acknowledge our comment section. Big up Ras Roots, big up Sister Nyla here from early. All of our global family, big up to the IDEM. We just hit 80,000 subscribers on YouTube, and we couldn't have done it without the IDEM. So I want to just big up to the Global Lion Pride. Continue to spread the word, continue to watch. The watch hours are also growing, and YouTube just changed their monetization policy. Before it was 4,000 watch hours in a year. After February, it's going to be 8,000. So if you plan to start a YouTube channel, now is the time to do it before, you have 6 months roughly before the requirement increases. 4,000 is a lot of time people have to sit down and watch your content. I give thanks that we're doing over 6,000 every 28 days here at the Lion Voice Network and climbing. But for the new channels, I recommend everybody get a YouTube channel just as a funnel to whatever you're doing, your product or service. And we're going to talk about it in our next town hall meeting that we have for the Lion Pride. Because in the ecosystem, YouTube is the second largest search engine on the planet. And so having a presence on YouTube, I think it's worthwhile. And we're going to talk about it, from a Pan-African Rastafari perspective. Big up I Never Know TV, big up Ija Star, big up all of the other content creators on YouTube. We're working on some of our Pan-African elders as well, some massive names, so get ready for that. We're getting a little bit of, ones are commenting. We dropped our first 2 clips from our Dr. Umar Johnson interview. I know a lot of people feel he's a scammer and saying, why are you giving this brethren a platform? I'm just going to say, I met the brethren a long time ago, early in his rising, in a small classroom, and the brethren was giving the same energy. We've watched the evolution. I don't get the vibe that the brethren is a scammer. He shared with I in the interview, so I can share with the family that he's under investigation by, IRS, FBI. So let them go into what he's been doing with the money. But I don't think we can deny that in terms of popular culture, the brethren has really pushed out. Now, we know there's some negatives. The man is a human being. But I choose to look at the positive that the brethren has done. And we talk about that in the interview. The full interview will drop on Monday. So look out for that. Along with a special, we're going to be interviewing the current president of the UNIA in New York City. So watch out for that interview to drop as well. But I'm praying for the brethren to manifest his school. I shared some concerns both in the interview and behind the scenes off camera, about the administration of the school project. And, definitely I must hold him accountable. But the brethren is not running from the topic. He's standing up. He's acknowledging that elders have been giving their money every month and for years. You know, we may not like the timeline and feel like things could be done more efficient, but we have to pray that the brethren manifest. I will never pray to see a man downfall. You know what I mean? If the man is scamming, that's going to also come out and the judgment will be upon his shoulder. But that's not for I. So I really full enjoy the reasoning, and Brethren was very humble. And just to see his impact, I was walking, down the street in New York City with the brother, and teenagers coming up, I mean, Dr. Umar, the impact and the anointing that this brethren has, because I think it only can be an anointing that, the people, all kind of people were coming up to the brethren. And, I mean, the brethren is talking some blackness, repatriation, these things. So I choose to focus on the good. I know some of the items can't stand him. And that's your right. We can agree to disagree. There are people who can't stand Field Marshal Tau. He knows that, and we bring him on the platform. We have a lot of controversial figures, and you see that we always try to just deal with the positive that they bring, the work that they're doing. We don't, this is a positive platform. We're trying to highlight the positive and build that alternative. So check out that interview. It's coming. Dr. Umar Johnson, first 2 clips have dropped. The full interview is already on the Patreon. Also for the YouTube members, you can catch it early. Also, I just want to big up, we just had some new Patreon members coming on board. The Prophet Sian came in heavy with the English pound. Big up yourself, one of our original Patreon who left for a while and came forward. And Ras Amaha, big up yourself. Empress Naila, I think it's there as well, came in recently. And a couple of the item have linked and said that the item are going to join our monthly subscriber. That's how we maintain the platform. That is how we are going to manifest the vision of a world-class Rastafari independent non-aligned media platform. And that is how we are going to fund our liberation. You know what I mean? Is I and I have to fund the liberation. So big up all of the monthly subscribers, all of the Patreon. We're trying to get to 1%. If we get 1% of our subscribers on YouTube to subscribe, we've gotten clear, that's over 800 of the items. So if we can even get 1%, you know what I mean? $5, $10, whatever you can afford, we give thanks. And in return, what we are going to do is provide that top quality content on a more consistent basis, higher quality. We're going to travel. We're going to see some elders and get some information from them directly before they transition. We're going to do the work to archive the lion story so that youths all over the earth, would know there always will be a place where the true, authentic Rastafari vibration live online and the true Pan-African voice live online, you know what I mean? And we'll evolve across multiple platforms. YouTube is just one part of the ecosystem. We're on TikTok, all of them, and we'll be on Abibi Tumi soon. Big up Ghana family. We're going to be transitioning to African platforms as well. So everything in time, and we're building a brand. And we're going to talk to our guest today about building his brand, because he's building also a globally renowned brand. I'm so excited to introduce the global family to our guest tonight, because this brother is sharp, you know what I mean? This brother is serious, you know what I mean? And he's here, humble enough to bless our platform. So we definitely do give thanks.
Yeah, I appreciate you, family. Thank you for inviting me.
Hold on 1 second. Let me introduce family. Before I do that, 1 second. Before I do that, let me bring up this first. I want to this weekend we have a couple of festivals. We have the Marcus Garvey Music Festival this weekend in Orlando. We have Rasta Fest taking place in Toronto. So I want to make sure, family, that everybody reach. Rastafest has added a symposium. On the 14th, my good brother Bingy Sean is going to be one of the brethren speaking, as well as our elder Razola. You got a little peek at the guests. I didn't mean to give you a peek, but it's all right. You'll be loved the item. Rastafari Symposium. So everyone in Toronto, make sure you reach on my Toronto Lion Pride family. Rastafari Festival, Rastafari own festival, over 30 years of work. Sister Masani, she's no stranger to this platform. So we're asking the global family to support. I went to the Shashamane Development Foundation event. I performed. It was a nice vibe. We're going to talk about that as well. We have pictures. We'll have Brother Carl come forward, Mama Valerie, to talk about that. So make sure you're supporting all of these events, all of these brands that, you know, whether they're decades old, whether they're just emerging. This is I&I thing. So make sure you're feeding the ecosystem some way. You're making your hard-earned money feed the ecosystem. And tonight we're going to have a conversation about food. Our guest is a legend. He is, you know what I mean, one of the premier brethren that's dealing with land reclamation for Black people in America. Born and raised on American soil. He is a son of, you know what I mean, Africans who were brought here, and a Garveyite, and a farmer, and family man of farm, you know, so much. So help us to welcome warmly our guest for tonight, Duron Chavis. Rastafari blessings, my brother.
Peace and power. Peace and power. Thank you for having me, Braham family. I appreciate it. I'm glad to be here. That was a wonderful introduction, I must say.
Yes,
Thank
yes.
you
I'm
very much.
long-winded, but you know that already. This is one of my brothers that I met at the Kwaku Ando Sustainability Institute in Ghana. We were together for about a week. Maybe about a little under a strong 7 days, maybe. I don't remember how many, but we got a chance to really ground. The brethren also makes music, hook up the beat machine. I was going at some music. The brethren is multi-talented, and also, you know, the founder of one of the largest cultural festivals for Black people in America. So it was a joy. So we have a tradition here on the Lion Voice Network. I'm going to ask you to step into the Lion Talk time machine and to take us to the moment of your birth. Where were you born? Give us the origin story. You know, like the Marvel movies, all of the heroes have their origin story that's very cinematic. So I want you to paint that picture as a great Pan-Africanist, your origin story of Duron Chavis and your journey to consciousness.
Yeah, so man, wow. I was born and raised in Richmond, Virginia. Duron Chavis, you know, my Chavis family originates in South Carolina, goes up to North Carolina, then comes into Virginia. We've been here for a while. Got a family that was in politics, heavy, you know, all that stuff. My father, biological father, was a hustler. He got, you know, a lot of background and around the city for how he was moving. Yeah, man, you know, fast forward, I'm a kid, you know, I you know, as an adult, people have met me through the Happily Natural Day Festival, which is a Pan-African grassroots festival that's been held in Richmond, Virginia for the last 2 decades. It was founded in 2003 in the back parking lot of the Black History Museum and Cultural Center of Virginia. I got my awakening. I don't even know what that, like, I've always been on my, you know, journey, but my first job, you know what I mean, saying, was at the Black History Museum and Cultural Center of Virginia, where I served as a...
Hold on a second. Stick a pin, because I don't want you to skip no steps. My audience, we go deep. Talk to us about young Duron, you know, were
Oh
you in
shit.
rural
Okay.
Virginia? Were you in rural Virginia? Were you in the city?
Nah.
What was it like as a child? Were you in a black area,
Okay.
white area, working class? You know, give us a picture.
Okay. All right. I want to go deep like that. Okay. Well, I was born in South Side of Richmond, Virginia. South Side
Okay.
Richmond is a portion of Richmond, Virginia. Richmond, Virginia is the capital, a former capital of the Confederacy of Virginia. I was
Okay.
born on the south side of the James River. So if you ever hear people talk about being sold down the river during slavery, that term originates from you being sold south, further south from, uh, uh, or is connected to being sold further south from places like Richmond, Virginia. Richmond used to have one of the largest sex trafficking rings for enslaved Africans. We're talking about after the ban of the transatlantic slave trade in I think 1607, um, the explosion of the traffic of our enslaved Africans, you know, concentrated on the breeding of our ancestors and selling them into different places. And
Yeah.
so Richmond, Virginia has one of the largest markets for that in the country. Richmond, Virginia, Shackled Bottom. Um, the my story here, I mean, I was born in the South Side,
Yeah.
which means that the part of the city I was born on was annexed from a surrounding county during the 1970s because of what they call annexation.
Yeah.
Annexation was when well, in the case of Richmond, black people were predominant in the South Side. You know what I'm saying? After Reconstruction, like that's where we went. A lot of us moved into different parts of the city, but large concentrations of us were right on the South Side. The white political power structure got threatened by the overwhelming population in the 70s of black people
Yeah.
in Southside Richmond. So what they
Okay.
did is they annexed the county. They annexed about six, I think, like 20, almost half, another half of the city. They annexed, you know what I'm saying, the surrounding county and pulled that into the city to dilute the black political power that was
Okay.
growing as a result of so many black people being in the South. So I'm
And the
from the
South.
black side of Richmond. Like
Okay.
it was a political move to like dilute that with white folks from further west of the city. So as a result, the part of town I'm from didn't have the same resources because, you know, the black folks were
Okay.
there, it wasn't part of the master plan, blah, 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 blah. I grew up around dope fiends, you know what I'm saying, hustlers, you know, I grew up with rap
Okay.
niggas, you know what I'm saying? I'm from the block. I had,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Okay. Okay.
This is my father was prominent um a prominent opioid distributor, but
Okay.
in Southside. I'm his oldest son. I'm Icky's son. You know,
Okay.
my mother married military when I was like 4, and I spent age 4 to like 12
Yes.
in Germany. You know what I'm saying? So we were in Frankfurt, outside of Frankfurt, on a military base called Hanau. You know, I spent
Okay.
that, came
Okay.
back to the United States. You know, Hanau, Germany is like forest. It's like, you know what I'm saying? It's Germany, bro. It's
Yes.
just you on a base. It's
Yeah.
a lot of force. So I had my first outdoors experiences were like that. But
Okay.
regardless, came back to Richmond. My grandmother died when I was 13. We came back to the city, right back to Southside. And so I grew up in my apartment complex, still standing. You know,
Okay.
people. My story is deep. I mean, I've been shot before. I
Oh
got multiple
wow.
bullet wounds. My like cats that got killed. I got memories of people getting shot and killed on my porch. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
it was wild and
Serious.
reckless. Crack war on drugs, crack in the 80s. In the
Yes.
80s,
Yes.
spilled over into
Yes.
the 90s. I was a 15-year-old in 1995.
Okay.
So
Right in the heart.
just
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, that's my story. But you know, always had a sense of conscience. My uncle, one of my stepfather's brothers, was in the Nation of Islam. So I got put on to the Nation of Islam from him to be
Okay.
actual factual. Like I sort of I
Yes.
got copy of the messages, black man.
Yes.
Because of his relationship, I seen his art. He used to cut the articles out the final call and put them on his door. He also used to
Okay.
collect comics, but I used to read that shit, man, when I was like, 13, 14 years old. Later on, spent a lot of time, in the hood, in the community. It was New Wabians, people
Yes.
from
I remember
the
them.
Rastafarian community, Nation of Gods and
Okay.
Earths. These are people that I, what I'm saying, gravitated towards because I used to rap too, and so we spent a lot
Mhm.
of time like it was a huge influx of niggas, oh, excuse my language, from brothers that came down from New York
Yes.
that were living
Higher
in
frequency. I like that. You yourself. You went.
my
You
apologies.
yeah. But you see, he was talking about the in Jamaica they call it the garrison. You're from the trenches, and he went down. So the frequency started to in his
Yeah.
brain, and the
Can we
N
bring it
word
back
flew
to
out.
the
It
other
flew out.
side?
It flew out. But he caught himself. He's a Garveyite. He caught himself. He's like, okay, I'm here with the Rasses. So give thanks
My
for
bad,
that
my bad.
because
So yeah, essentially
yeah,
that's my backstory, and it has nothing to do with anything other than like the origins of my work is rooted
yes.
in, what I'm
No, this
saying?
is important. This is important
Mhm.
because I want to humanize when we bring on people who are doing powerful work, because we have some people who are living your reality right now, that
Yeah.
something is gravitating them toward the consciousness, and they're like, these
Follow it.
people, these people are
Follow.
perfect. Pan-African people, I can't do that. But when they hear the stories, that's why I like to do the origin story, so that people can see we come from all different backgrounds. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
From the trenches. A lot of our great Pan-Africanists, look at Malcolm X.
Mhm.
So many come from down in the trenches.
Yeah.
So I
But you
give
asked,
thanks.
so I had to
Yeah.
tell it. You feel
No,
me?
no, no, no. And I give thanks, and it gives it context when we get into the Garvey, when we get into the Happy Need Natural, then people it makes it more real to people when they know who is the messenger, and
Yeah,
that you're
I
coming from.
wasn't,
You
and
have a journey.
I'll be frank with y'all, like all people, like you know what I'm saying. I know a lot of brothers and sisters in the movement. Like, I was not raised in movement spaces. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying. My mother was Christian, apostolic, catch the Holy Ghost, and anoint your head. We're all speaking tongues, Christian. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying. And
yeah,
so, I was in the world though. Like I'm we can talk about that. Me and my
yeah.
mother, our relationship was really like deep. We used to have conversations about the Bible,
Okay.
what we believe, what we didn't, but what I didn't believe. You know what I'm saying? Questions that I had, and like reconciling the African origins of Christianity with, the astrological symbolisms inside of the Bible, and all this stuff.
Mhm.
Me and my mom used to build on that. So,
Okay.
I came from, I used to have to be in the church when my mom was balancing these things, but my consciousness was attuned to, okay, there's a higher mysticism, there's an African
Yeah.
mysticism
Yes.
inside of the energies and like the practices like that comes from. And so, I only bring that to the fore because a lot of times people think that if you do movement work, you're supposed to be like the grandson of such and such and such and such, and a cousin of somebody and
Yeah.
somebody
Yeah.
else, and this and
Yeah.
that. They
Yeah.
like be running down their bloodline as if fuck niggas don't exist, and
Yeah.
everybody, bro, there's nothing
Yeah.
divine. There's no divinity in movement spaces in the sense of like, oh, because my grandfather was this, I'm going to
No.
be this. That's not
No.
real.
That's not
So
real.
I'm from the block. I grew up in the community. I went to college, HBCU. I came home. I
Okay.
found my purpose early,
Where
and
what HBCU?
I went to Virginia State University.
Okay, give thanks. I just
Yeah,
dropped my daughter off at Howard University.
yeah.
I'm going through a father moment right now. I want to call my
Yeah.
daughter every day to find out what she's been up to, but I got to give her
Mhm.
some space. I'm going through that right now. Um,
I got
that's,
grandchildren, brother. I understand. I got,
yeah, that's my
my oldest
firstborn.
is
That's
like
my
20 something.
firstborn. When you let the firstborn go, it's like, man,
Bruh,
you know what
it's
I
crazy.
mean? So give thanks. Big up
Mhm.
Virginia
Wait
State.
till they
So,
get their first house.
woo,
Oh Lord. my oldest son living with his girlfriend now, and I'm like, brother, what are you gonna do with this? Are you gonna get married? Are you gonna marry this girl? Wait, why are you doing this? If he
Yeah,
watched this, I said it again. You need to
yeah.
go ahead and ask that girl to be your wife, or
Give time, give
let's keep it
time,
moving.
give time. I love it. So, what was the first consciousness you had of Marcus Garvey and
Yo, so
movement?
my
Yeah.
this is where the origin story is important too. So, you know, I used to I've been an avid book reader. I'm a bibliophile. When I say
Okay.
like I got a library. I study hard. You
Give
know what I'm
time,
saying?
give
And
time.
so in my early years, I used to go to black bookstores and flea markets and cop books. And I had a copy of the Philosophy and Opinions of Marcus Garvey. I had to be like 16, 17. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
But I didn't I read about Garvey. I didn't, you know what I'm saying, know anything about the Universal Negro Improvement Association in the physical flesh until I was in my 20s. When I
Yes.
was 20 years old, 20, 21, maybe 22, in my city there was a division of the Universal Negro Improvement Association. Is the Gabriel Prosser Division 456. And so I joined the
Okay.
UNIA at the age of like 22,
Okay.
23 even. You know what I'm saying? So the UNIA, Marcus Garvey's organization, is what launched my activity in movement spaces. I
Mm.
used to travel up to DC. I was with Baba Senghor Bay for the entire Millions More movement
Okay.
weekend. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? I
Okay.
was running around
He's
DC
he's
with
no
him.
stranger. He's no stranger to this platform either.
Yeah, yeah. I used to be on with Delani and mine. I used to be on a radio show with him. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? I end up we used to be at Roots in DC,
Yes.
African Center School, you know, all
Yes.
the way up to
My
Philly to
children
the like
started at
UNIA.
Roots. My children
Yeah.
started at Roots. Yeah.
Got it. Baba Kamal, I met him, you know, there.
Hmm.
You know, I was there. I was the day that Baba Kamal Kambon said, you know, went off on the crackers on C-SPAN. See,
Yeah.
I was in the back. I was watching him do that when
Yeah.
when he got, you know what I'm saying, when he fried him up on CNN. But anyway, the Marcus Garvey's organization rooted me in movement spaces. I traveled DC, Baltimore, Raleigh, Durham,
Yes.
Charleston,
Yes. Yes.
Atlanta, Georgia, Philadelphia, you know what I'm saying, Jersey. I met brothers and sisters from Toronto that were UNIA, brothers from Detroit that were UNIA, you know what I'm saying? And from Jamaica, Harlem, Brooklyn. I was in these spaces in my early 20s. You see what I'm
Yes.
saying?
And
23, 24, 25, 26, the early days
and
of
and, and
Happily
what
Naturally.
what 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 was that spark? Because you were coming off of the block, but you still, because you were a bibliophile, you went to university, because we have to give credit. Not everybody from the block makes it into a university. So that shows me that you were still
Yeah.
thinking positive in terms of
Yeah,
your future.
what
What
happened
was
for
that
me?
spark? Yeah.
What happened for me is, so I had found a Black History Museum, so I was a teller of our story there.
Okay.
You feel me? So every week I was in there, you know, giving tours about Black Wall Street, giving tours about the Reconstruction period, giving tours about the Black Panthers, African traditional religions. Like I was in it. I've been in it.
Right.
That's my again. So when I went on these moves under the banner of the UNIA, I was meeting
Yes.
other brothers and sisters that were reflections of me,
Okay.
but I had never
Okay.
met them before. So it's people that
Oh,
were reading the same books, that
yes.
were studying the same master teachers, the
Yes.
Dr. Benz, the Dr. John Henry Clarks, you know what I'm saying, the Dr. Africas and all that. I was like connecting with them. At the same time, I was doing Happily Natural Day. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? So Happily Natural Day starts at the same year. The year I worked at the Black History Museum was the year Happily Natural Day was born. So I was on the road. Robert Senghor and them was like, you know what I'm saying? Yo,
Yeah.
UNIA got a platform, Happily Natural Day, let's go. And so I was like at an early age getting a clear understanding of what my purpose was
So
in the
so
work. Not
let's
like on no underland shit, but like this is your
yeah,
shit and
no, but
you're
no,
maneuvering through these
you
spaces.
you you you're very casual about Happily Natural Day. What made you start this at such a young age? Where did that promoter um, uh, energy come from? You know what I mean? Was that the business of being on the block?
So
What was it?
no,
What
brother.
was it? What
Like
was that?
you gotta no. So I used to cringe when people call me a promoter, bro. I used to be like, I ain't no
Okay,
fucking promoter. I'm
okay,
I was
okay,
like, I'm an
okay,
activist. This is
okay.
so okay, so let me tell you how it starts. So 2003 was the eve of, I think it was like the year before the 50th anniversary of Brown versus the Board of Education.
Yes.
The Black History Museum was doing an exhibit on that, right? Had a
Okay.
whole little thing with the doll, talking about the Kenneth Clark doll study and everything. So
Yes.
the Kenneth
Yes.
Clark doll study was kind of the framework under which we was like, oh yeah, inferiority complexes in the Black community still impact us. And so we went on the direction of like using
Explain that study to my audience. We have a global audience. Explain
check.
Brown versus Board of
Okay,
Education and that
word.
study.
So Brown versus the Board of Education was a Supreme Court case that desegregated public schools in the United States of America. There was a legal team that used a psychologist named Black psychologist by the name of Kenneth Clark's psychological study on Black children in the record to say segregation was damaging the mental health of Black children because they were looking at these two dolls, one white, one black, and were looking at the white dolls as angelic and beautiful, and the black dolls as demonic and ugly. So that being attributed to the impact to the effects of white supremacist culture being indoctrinated in Black people and Black children in particular, generation after generation, for the 300 and some years before that, as a result of slavery. Like, you want to be white more than when you want to be Black, so let's desegregate these schools. Like, it was like that the racial hierarchy of human value was damaging the psyche of Black and brown children. So in 2003, this conversation about inferiority complexes had a different ring to it.
Okay.
Black folks were still dealing with like, oh, my hair is, you know, bad hair, good hair. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying?
Yes.
So
Yes.
our work came in when it was like we're challenging this idea of black ness being not as beautiful as whiteness, but really we were like, yo, this is black is beautiful part dos. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Ultimately, so we picked the hair thing under that banner, and the museum was like, oh, okay. We was like, yo, we got this idea for an event, and the museum didn't have enough money to do its annual jazz concert that it used to do
Okay.
every summer, and so we was like, yo, I got this idea. We want to do a festival
Mhm.
about black beauty, but we want to call it happily natural. And
Mm.
we want to talk about holistic health and wellness, and what I'm saying, natural body and skincare and hair care. And we also want to have speakers and music, and not just, what I'm saying, like, it's not like a hair show. It's more of
Yes.
a, it's again like a celebration. We articulate it now as that Happily Natural Day is a celebration of the diversity of blackness on a global scale. But
Wow.
back then we was just like, yo, it's just being black and being happy to be black. You know what I'm saying? It's
Yes.
and it's and
Yes.
it's health related. If you love
Yes.
yourself, you're
Yes.
gonna be
Yes.
healthy. That type of stuff.
Where did that
Um,
name Happy Natural come from? Who coined that? That's a beautiful title.
yeah, that was all me. I mean, I don't even know. I think I might have. I can't, to be honest. It came out of a conversation, but we stuck with it. You know what I
Yes.
mean? It was like, oh, happily natural, not happy to be natural, or not
Yes.
happy natural day, but I am. It was like an affirmation. I
Yes.
am happily natural. Like, that's what we
Wow.
was like trying to get people to affirm as a what's it, what they call them, mantra, as a
Mantra.
mantra
Yes.
when you
Yes.
speak on happily natural. Are you happily natural? Oh, I'm happily natural. Oh, then
Yes.
this is for you. This is
Wow.
this is your space. This is where you're supposed to be. There's nothing wrong with being natural. Like, and that's, are you eating naturally? Are you eating natural foods? Are you happy with who God made you to be? you know, are you raising your children naturally? Like, are you like affirming naturopathic medicines and versus using, you know, synthetics? Like, are you growing food naturally? Are you eating food that's been grown naturally? Like, what's up? Are you happily natural? I'm happily natural. So it came from there. It was never designed for to be. We never came to the shit like, oh, this is a business.
Yes. Okay. Okay.
We were
Okay.
like, oh yeah, we just want to do something in the community, and I work at the Black History Museum, and they said yes, and it was a success.
Okay.
The
Okay.
first time we did it, you know what I'm saying? We had Dr. Africa, Queen Quet from the Gullah Geechee Nation came.
Okay.
I'm trying to think who it was, like hairstylists came.
Yes.
You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? People from all over, like the region, came, and so when it was over, people asked us, "Are we gonna do it again?" And I was like, "Shit, I guess so." We had a good time. It was dope. And 22 years, 23 years later, we still do it. But the
Serious.
vision
Serious.
of it is was always to be a liberation zone versus
Yeah.
like, oh, we're just doing a festival to make some money. Like, nah, we like,
Yeah.
yo, we believe in these principles, bro. Social change,
Yes.
wellness, holistic health. Like, we need a space as Black people that we can come together under, and we know what it is. We know what time it is, and we here to have fun, but we also here to network and connect and be about that work. And so this year's 23rd annual Happily Natural Day is happening the last weekend in August, just like it has happened for the last 20 some odd years. And it's ringing all across the internet. I hope you've seen it. You know what I'm saying? And it's still in the same space, but we've evolved beyond just a conversation about beauty. You know what I mean?
Okay.
It's
Okay.
not just about like this aesthetic thing, but it was cool. That's still a part of what we're talking about. But
Yes.
our practice has morphed and evolved into daily, weekly, monthly, where every day we are out here transforming the environment that we are in, because that ultimately, to me, is how you show that you truly love yourself. Is that the place that you live and the place that you find yourself, the community that you live in, is going to be a reflection of how you feel about you. And if you go outside in the front of your neighborhood, block, corner, and there ain't no grass, there ain't no trees, there ain't no food to eat, there ain't no access to green space, like if the built environment in the community in which find yourself is not conducive to your thriving, then what does that say about you? You think I'm saying? Because if you're a master of your reality, you define the reality for yourself, right? If you love you, then that's you know how to access that magic, that alchemy, and you need to transform not only yourself, but you know the built environment for food. Like the one thing that we know we're gonna do every day. So that's uh a shorthand of we also do food sovereignty work under our banner as well. Happily Natural Day introduced us to
Yes.
Black
Yes.
farmers. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? In the
Yes.
in the early years, like the second year. No, the first year my homie had sugarcane for sale in the back lot.
Okay.
But the second year, Black farmers, like real farmers, showed up and were out there selling produce. And I
Okay.
got deep in relationship with them. You know what I'm saying? It's just it goes, bro. I'm gonna let you.
No. No.
I'm long winded, so let me chill. Cause I know you. You know what I'm
My
saying.
my audience my audience is used to that. That's how we roll over here. We call it reasoning. A man block a sound, a next man listen, a next man block a sound, and we listen and we build. We put in building blocks. So we love it. We have here Duron Chavis. If you're joining us live, he is the founder of Happily Natural Day. He's a Pan-Africanist, a Garveyite, born and raised in America. He's taking us through his life, and we are very honored. If you have any questions for the brethren, put them in the comment section. We definitely would love to get this as an interactive session as usual. So I want to ask the eye, because one of the
themes on this platform ever since Ghana is Black food sovereignty. So I want to ask, what does Black food sovereignty mean to the eye? And then take us through, you started, but take us through your work, the transition from just doing the festival to becoming one of the, a pillar in Black food sovereignty network that is emerging. And, this brethren has a refrigerated truck. We're going to get into the production and the work that this brother is heavy. Let me just calm myself down and we get the story.
Word, thank you,
But
bro.
yeah,
That's
Black
why
food sovereignty, Black
I
food
stay
sovereignty.
humble by the ways.
Yeah, you're very
So,
humble. You're very humble. So I give thanks. But tell us Black food
Black
sovereignty.
food sovereignty. Black food sovereignty is Black people controlling the production, the aggregation, the innovation, and the distribution of food in their community. Like, we run the system that makes food get on your plate and waste management. Like, Black food sovereignty for me is that we run the production, the aggregation, the value adding, or the innovation and the distribution of food. I got this acronym, I call it PAID. It just stands for just that: production,
Okay.
aggregation, innovation, and distribution. I
Nice.
tell this to the young bulls so they can understand that what we do, this is movement work, but this is economic self-determination, right?
Yes.
And we're building the systems that allow our grandchildren to get paid and have jobs, not working for the white man or their system, like building the mechanisms for our community survival, while at the same time understand that these keys are what are going to open the doors that transform our community from survival to thrival.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So my story, so yeah, we started with the festival and Black farmers put us on. They asked us a question: what would you do if the grocery stores closed? And I was like, oh shit, I don't know what I would do if the grocery stores closed. Then the hurricane hit our city and the grocery stores did close. And it put me and my family, you know what I'm saying, at the time I had young children. Like, my oldest is now 20 some years old, but he was like 1, 2. And so in that moment, I realized like I had no answer when the electricity went out and the grocery store shelves were empty because people had went and got everything out of them. I had no recourse. There was nothing else to do but try to find another store somewhere further away. You know what I mean? But I said, well, look, what we're gonna do is we're gonna learn how to grow some food. I started doing first working with the farmers. You know what I'm saying? They articulated that one of their biggest challenges was markets and not being able to have the time to really spend sitting in the middle of the city to wait for someone to purchase their food. So we started doing aggregation, which we basically were middlemen for the farmer. We would purchase produce uh, in bulk from them and then resell that to folks in in the community. We would do like what we call pop-up farmers markets, right? In neighborhoods that people would like to call food deserts, but we know are not food deserts. They're really formerly redline neighborhoods that are experiencing a form of apartheid in the context of food. We took the food to the block, and so food on the block.
Redemption moment. I love that visual. Before I go into that, because I don't want you to speed past that, someone in our audience that is
The
known
brother
as
Ja.
he's saying big up Bro Manifest. I don't know who Bro Manifest is. You're popping out names on me, Ja.
Okay. I should have ran down the AKAs.
Okay.
Yes, brother
This
Manifest.
is a family. This is a family. When you come to Lion Voice, this is a family affair.
That's right.
You never know who will show up in the comments.
They've been calling me. As I said, they call me Brother Manifest and Duron Chavis. For those who know, Brother Manifest is the appellation that's been with me since I first entered into the movement space.
Nice.
So and I should edit that.
That's an app name. But listen to this poetry. Listen, because I'm one of my things I want to do eventually is be able to create these blockbuster films around the people who are in the movement. But think about this now. You gave us a picture of Duron Chavis on the block selling poison to his people, busting guns and causing trouble. And then full circle moment, the same Duron Chavis comes back to the block with produce.
I know that's a beautiful story, but I never sold dope in my life. I want to promise
Okay,
you
okay.
that's the
I
truth.
went too far. I went too
My
far. I went too
father,
far. I
my
went too
father
far.
was
Okay.
a
Correct it up.
was an investor, early stage venture capitalist in an industry that is now considered legal, right?
Okay,
Illegal, I
okay.
should say. And I, because of my father, I never sold dope. I never had
Yes,
to.
that,
You know what I'm
yes, that.
saying?
So what were you
Um,
doing on the block getting shot up? What was going on?
Yo, so I used to rap, and you know where I'm from, where the part of the city that I'm from, it was a
Yeah.
very yo. I told you I grew up in Southside, man, and
Yes,
so
yes.
in the '90s it was crazy in Southside, and
Okay.
people were it was a lot of murders in Richmond. I don't know if you in the mid 20s,
Yeah.
2020s, Richmond in the early 1990s, the late
Yeah.
1990s to the like mid teens to 2000s, Richmond was the murder capital of the
Okay.
country in many instances. And so I used to rap real heavy. Like I was
Yeah.
into that. And so you know the neighborhood that I grew up on, like this is this is pre-opioids. So
Yeah.
people used to sell crack on the corner. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And like
Yeah.
your corner might be across the street from your house. It's not like
Yeah.
away somewhere. I grew up in apartments. You know what I
Yes,
mean?
yes,
And
yes.
so the apartments I grew up in they had situations like that. But in terms and so I was around that because I get off the school bus and these niggas if I want to be in the world, I can't just be in the house sitting in
Yes,
my room
yes.
somewhere. Like all my
Yeah.
friends, all the people that I know, like they either have one foot in the game, they might be selling weed, they might
Yeah.
be selling coke, you know what I'm saying? Or they might not be doing either, but they just like they got a life. They want to be outside, they want to have friends. The people that are around them are living in these lives. This is just
Yes,
how it
yes.
was. But I got shot because I was at a block party and
Okay.
I was trying to rap at the block party, and somebody that was doped up, somebody got high, that used to get high had depression, psychotic. He was crazy. You know, he had
Yeah.
mental health issues. He put out an SK and sprayed up the party. You know
Oh,
what I'm
wow.
saying, in the front of the party, and so you know, a couple people got shot. Some one girl lost her life that night. Another guy lost his life that night. I was like
Wow.
one of three or four people was on the other side of the bullet in the mass shooting when I was 17.
Wow. Wow.
So I still
So,
carry a bullet fragment in my
wow.
leg to this day. And you know, if I showed you, I could show you where the
Let
escape
me
bullet
let me let
went
me
through.
edit the script. Let me edit the script. We cut out the drug dealing part. That was wrong. That was wrong stereotype. He was putting lyrics on the in on the block, and then he came
Yeah.
back with produce. It's a
So I tell the
musical.
story like this. I tell the story like
All
this.
right, tell us the story.
My pop used to sell drugs, and now I sell food in the community. Like,
Okay, redemption. Realigning.
and it's the way I try to frame it like that is so that you understand. Like in that sense, I learned from my father systems of
Yes.
people management. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying, and people
Okay.
organization and distribution systems. Right.
Okay.
I understood that. I understood principles of loyalty, of comradeship, principles of how to like family first. You know what I'm saying? Like my
Yes.
father and
Yes.
my his brothers were very close, and so you know these are all things that I've inherited from my father. My father did it in his own way. You know what I'm saying? But his legacy is one of high regard. Whenever you go into the community, when you talk about my father, like
Yeah.
nobody has anything negative to say. Everybody has like
Okay.
high praise. And my father's still around. Like my father's still, you know,
Okay.
got favorites. He calling people that love him to death. You know, and we get the same kind of regard. Like I got that regard he has and from his life is the regard I have in the world
Okay.
that I move around in. So I don't try to negate it or like, you know, put it in that negative, like, oh, it's like it's a negative going to a positive. No,
Yeah.
this is generational wealth building. generation to and from in the context that he lived in, that was the appropriate route for him to maneuver. But in my incarnation, you're supposed to do better than your parents. So
Yes,
I
yes.
took what I learned from my mother, my father, and I iterated my own work and my own movement, you know what I'm saying, in collaboration with my community to heal the harms that white supremacy has cut through our and torn through our neighborhoods with. You know what I'm saying? But I'm
Yes.
doing that, we're addressing the inequity and healing that bullshit that came before him, the shit that trapped him up, that had him out on the block
Mm-hmm.
doing
Mm-hmm.
XYZ. Now we on the block, erasing the shit that created the conditions that put him in position to have to hustle. You know what I'm saying? For a living. You know what I mean? That
Yeah,
shit
man.
damaged us. It fucked us up. Like
Yes.
the crack, opioids, the fentanyl is smacking us upside the head right now.
Wow.
It ain't a joke.
Wow.
It ain't a game.
Yes.
It's happening everywhere. I know everybody that might not know about, you know what I'm saying, like the levels of like drugs and opioid, but
Yes.
people is getting devastated by this stuff today. And if you know what I'm saying, when you're in a community doing work, you just see these things. But
Yes. Yes.
I like to tell the story of my father to people so they understand like there's layers of what's happening in our community, and like when we in movement spaces and we pretend as if like street culture is not a part of our world as activists, as you know what I'm saying, healers, cultural workers, we're ignoring an entire swathe. Like that's the
Yes.
army.
Yes.
For real, like in our community, like
Yes.
in the black community, the people that are dealing with
That's the
drugs,
the warrior.
homelessness,
Yeah.
that's the base.
The warrior
That's who we need
culture.
to reach. Because if once people
Yeah.
get a taste, or try to, a lot of our folks try to do the black bourgeoisie shit, and once they get over there, it's hard. It's like crack. It's like, that's the crack.
Mm-hmm.
Like
The
they get a
comfort,
taste of,
comfort.
they
They
get
get the comfort, but we're headed toward a time when the comforts are ending, and that's
rather.
the moment that we're in. This is pre. If you're watching this on the replay, this is a classic episode already. But if you're watching this, because America and the globe is about to get an energy shock with the closure of the Straits of Hormuz, with the closure of the Red Sea, 30% of the petrol
It's crazy.
chemicals of oil is off the market. We are and I want you to talk about supply chain, because this is something I want to really introduce to the audience. A lot of us just go to the grocery store and we pick up something, and we just are used to that because that's how modernity has taught us. We don't think about how things get to where it's going. Right now we have a diesel shortage. I filled up my tank the
I
other
seen
day. I
that.
think I paid
I
I
seen
paid
that.
a, yeah,
I
I
seen
paid
that.
about $100 almost to fill up my SUV here in DC. And the
Hmm.
gas keeps creeping up, and they're saying that diesel is going to skyrocket, and diesel, everything that moves on
Yes.
on trucks, ships, runs off of
Yes.
diesel. Talk about
Yes. Yes.
supply chain and the
So
importance.
yeah. Uh so supply chains run the world, bro. Like the modern world anyway. Everything moves by ship, truck, plane, or train. You know what I mean? And all of those things they use diesel fuel, like you said. But from my vantage point, supply chain is, it looks like, how do we control the food supply
Yes,
chain? So how do
yes,
we get
yes,
produce from point A to point B, uh, and who's in between the food and you as a person?
yes,
That's a supply chain. So, but it's also important to understand like the supply chain is also impacted. I'm impacted by diesel, gas prices because I run my operation. I not only produce food in my own community, I also distribute food throughout
yes.
my
Talk about
community
it.
as well.
Talk about it.
So
Talk about it.
what that means is that I gotta gas up my 16-foot box truck in order to get watermelons, you know what I'm saying, get like collard greens in volume from other farmers that grow larger amounts than I grow. So like the thing is, I want people to get this through their head. Our community has been sold a bill of goods that if we just get off grid and go homestead on our individual cells, that somehow, some way, we're going to be protected from this system of white supremacy that's attacking us from all angles. And that's not real. Okay, these people thrive on systems, and we have no system. Your individual self and your family off in the cut somewhere doing your own thing is not a system that is sustainable,
No.
especially if you're talking about feeding yourself. You know what I mean? And so, um, as a result, we build relationships and we create networks. This is the functional unity that we learned about all those years ago. How do we build principled connectivity? Irrespective of where we are geographically or ideologically. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Everybody got to eat, bro. So okay, this supply chain looks like, okay, how do I get produce from Richmond to Baltimore?
Yes.
How do I get produce from South Carolina to Richmond, then to Baltimore? How do I get produce from Atlanta, Georgia to Charleston to Baltimore, then to Philly, then to Harlem or to Detroit? And if you think that all the food that you're going to eat is going to come from just your area, my guy, you're going to have a hard winter.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
that's not how it works. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I mean, it's not how it works. So, distribution is a part of the supply chain, but also innovation is a part of the supply chain because somebody might make something along the way, right? So
Mm-hmm.
so this I'm gonna take it wide scope. Let's go to
Yes.
Ghana.
Yes.
So
Let's do it.
I met the Ross in Ghana, and I caught moringa powder
Yes.
from him. And I caught,
That's Bobo Selassie.
yeah, I met the Ras Bobo Selassie from the Ghana
Yes.
Permaculture
Big up
Institute.
the Ghana family. Big up all our Ghana family. Bobo Selassie's been on the platform. Big up yourself. All
Yeah,
my
yeah,
Ghana
yeah,
Lion
yeah.
Pride.
All my Ghana people. So that I'm mapping this out so you can see. So I can't get moringa here. I mean, I
Yes.
can grow it, but that requires me to take the space, and then I gotta find somebody that what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Either I got the seeds or I can sprout them. It's a long process. But I want moringa today, tomorrow. I want it
Yes.
next
Yes.
month.
Yes.
So I
Yes.
got with the brother and his team packaged me up several boxes of worth of moringa, right? It got shipped
Okay.
here, and now I sell moringa. I take moringa, put it in mylar bags, and I sling moringa, right?
Okay.
But that's a supply chain, right?
Yes.
It was
Yes.
originated in Ghana, West Africa. Now it's in Virginia, right? And then we can turn it into something else. I could sell it to the smoothie shop who's now putting moringa inside of the smoothies. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? Or in the
Yes.
juices for
Yes.
somebody's juice fast. Or I could take it and sell it to the soap maker and they could take and make moringa soap. Right. So that's an example
Yes.
of a supply chain, right? But it does get granular shit. There's a supply chain for water. You
Yes.
know what I'm saying? Like,
No, it's
but
serious.
yeah,
And
and that's a big one for
this is
that.
the reason for Pan-African philosophy, because you don't local supply chains are important, but you want to have multiple nodes. You want to have options. If one breaks down, you have
Right.
redundancies
Do
built
you
in.
know somebody got a spring? Because if they
Exactly.
cut the water off at the pump and your municipal government, then you AOL. But do you have a well, right?
Yes,
And
exactly.
even with the well, like who's polluting the water up the street? This is deep,
Exactly.
man. But so I just dug a well the other day, and so now because they got data centers coming up, I have to think about, okay, if somebody puts a data center up the road from my farm, and that data center suck up all the water, then that means that I can't grow no food because now my
Wow.
well is gonna be running dry. You know what I'm
And
saying?
and for those who are not familiar with this, because I haven't done an episode about the data centers that are coming up all around the world, all around the country. Break down the importance of what's happening with the data centers and what they really
Oh,
plan to do.
yo, I don't know. All right, so Virginia has the largest concentration. Northern Virginia has the largest concentration of data centers in the world.
Okay.
in the world. Like you put all places in the world together, and it's the largest concentration.
Wow.
And so that's a lot. So this is like the regulations in Virginia were crazy because they were like giving the data centers like no taxes to pay in order to start their data center. So now a lot of the shit that all that AI shit y'all be fucking with is coming from data centers out of Virginia. But anyway, the data centers suck up a lot of water to cool down the computers
Okay.
in the data center. So every time you run in, the AI on something, you know what I'm saying, it's charging up these data centers and they're using more and more water. So this is the challenge for all of my brothers and sisters. I know folks just left InvestFest. And y'all love a good conversation about starting an AI company, but I promise you, if the AI suck up all the water, you could be like, damn, I should have listened to the damn movie Terminator when they said that the AI, the computer was going to take over and it was going to
Skynet.
devastate the earth. Skynet, you saw the movies, they taught you, they showed you the movies, y'all. The Matrix, Terminator, like it's so many examples of what happens when we let these computers dictate how much resources they use on the earth, and it's never a good thing for us. But I don't want to. That's a that I'm on
Yeah, yeah,
another
yeah, but
convo.
but it's good because what Happily Natural represent what the work that you're doing with Black food sovereignty, it represents creating an alternative to that system. For those
Exactly.
who are biblical, they'll talk about the mark of the beast. You cannot buy or sell. For
Right.
those who are, take it from another angle, we got the digital currency, all of that coming, the
Yeah, all
smart
this is crazy.
cities. You know what I mean? So we're in a time where we can complain about it or we can do something about it. And this is
Your
one of the
data
brothers.
is a part of your
Yeah.
data is in somebody's supply chain, right?
Yeah, no, and that's real. That's real. When you look at Elon Musk and Starlink, let's give a good
Yeah,
example.
that's a
The
great example.
Belgium, a private company,
That's a great example.
controlling a network of satellites around the planet,
Right, and every
and
time you get on his Starlink, it's like, who does he have or now have
all
ownership of the data that you
all of
sent
that
up and
data
down
is
through
running
Skyline?
through Grok. Is running through Grok, which is his.
Right,
He bought
his AI.
Twitter. A lot of people don't realize he bought Twitter for the data. The
Yeah,
data. That's why he
yeah.
bought Twitter, to get all of that
Hmm.
human research for the
Hmm.
AI, to train the AI.
Yeah,
So, he has a neural link where they put in the link in your brain. You can control your mouse. You can log on to the internet in your mind. The thing is getting really spooky right now.
yeah. It's
In terms
dangerous.
of,
It's very dangerous.
yeah,
So to bring it back
yeah.
to agriculture,
Yes,
you know what I'm
please.
saying? We're trying to encourage like us to like in your local municipality. You got to fight. You know, you got to you got to show up to the meetings, man, to the zoning meetings. You got to pay attention to what zoning changes is trying to happen or what permits people are trying to get for these data centers, so you can like keep them out of your community. But it takes the people to like spread the education. We got to get back to understanding how important farming is first. You know what I
Yes.
mean? So this is a reason why I bring up the Invest Fest is because it's like on one side we got a part of our community that are bourgeoisie and class oriented in their thinking, and their energy is synced out towards this entrepreneurial, I want to get rich, become a millionaire energy.
Yes.
And that's
Yes.
understandable because that's what we've been fed. Like black
Yes.
capitalism is going to be our savior as
Hmm.
black people, but I promise you, the consequences of us going down some of these roads is like, yo, we're doing more damage to our community than is necessary. I personally, I'm not trying to tell nobody not to, you know what I'm saying, get their data, entrepreneurial, whatever AI shit going. I'm saying that the consequences of our investment in these systems is not going to buy us any land. It's actually going to make the land less fertile and harder to farm. And everybody has to eat. Everybody don't have to have an AI in order to survive. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? Everybody, I
Hmm.
can't eat the shit Chat GPT spit back out at me. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? And
Yes.
so you gotta really understand. Yeah, really gotta sit down and think about, okay, what's here long term. You know what I mean? And so the water, there's a finite amount of water on the planet. Okay, there's a number. It's fixed. You know what I'm saying? But you can't pollute it,
Yes.
which is, you know what I mean? Like there's a certain amount of water, but you can subtract from that because of what is burned off when the data center steams the water up, is connecting with other chemicals that are now being concentrated in the rain when it comes back down, and that water is no longer drinkable. Okay. Yeah. So this is this is on top of us burning fossil fuels, this and it getting hotter every year as a result of the way that we're treating gas, methane, carbon, you know what I'm saying, burning and everything, that's all of the fuels and gas that we, even the diesel shit. We talk about diesel. I'm talking about filling up my diesel truck. I'm a culprit just like everybody else. I drive a diesel truck, a 16-foot truck that's letting off pollution every time I get in it. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? But I'm not, this is a whole system, global systems. You talk about straight up hormones. Like every time they burn one of them oil fields, oh my God, it's
Yeah.
crazy. We're sending this stuff into the air and it's actually poisoning the water, and making the water and making the air polluted. So long story short, the work that we do intersects with not only food, it also intersects with the environment, and it
Yes.
intersects with our climate and us being able to live and have a future on the planet as Black people. This is like the way. This is why I wanted to talk about Garveyism, because like Garveyism, and I think our interpretations of Garveyism be so limited because we like just back to Africa, which is great. It's an important part of the Garveyite
Yes. Yes.
philosophy. But Garvey, his organization is sprouted from small farmers all across the globe, right?
Speak
It's
on
like
it.
people
Speak
that
on it.
grew food. The entire Garvey movement, in the United States, if you're United States based, in the South, there were Garvey chapters all over the South. Malcolm X's father was a Garveyite, having
Yes.
meetings in his living room. You know what I'm saying? So and it's Garvey movement in Mississippi, North Carolina, South Carolina, Tennessee, Alabama, Texas, all over, and then down into the Caribbean, all over in South America, all over West Africa, all over. It's a global movement, but it's moved by Black brothers and sisters that live rurally and in urban spaces, but rurally too. And that were like the bulk of the thing. Regenerative farming practices is what's going to allow us to be able to live as Black people in the future. Because these white folks is not trying to feed us. They don't have no. They don't have a plan for the planet. Their plan
Oh,
for the
they
planet
do.
is to get off it.
Yeah, yeah. They have a plan for total domination,
They
GMO,
are out. No, I'm
controlling
trying
the
to tell you.
seeds.
I'm trying to tell you, brother.
Yeah.
Look, these white folks are not stupid. They are not. Yeah, we like to think that white folks is like, yeah, we're gonna burn the planet and they gonna just kill themselves. No, I met a guy 2 weeks ago that's like, I invest in deep tech. I said, what the fuck is deep tech? He said, oh, rocket ships, cloning, and advanced AI. I was like, what? What is that? And so this is the type of rich white boy that don't wear that's not old. He's got a regular blazer, a t-shirt, and a little gemstone on it.
Yes.
They're trying to get off the planet.
Hmm.
They're looking at like space travel.
Mars and all them something there.
Yo, they you talk about that satellite system. They like, even if we get off of this and be in the atmosphere, what is the technology necessary for us to not have to deal with the climate changing? Yeah, yo, I get hype about this because I think because I won't be thinking we think We think white folks is on a mission for self destruction. No, the richest of them are not. The
Yes.
richest of them are like fuck the rest of those poor the poor gene pool. Like we're the smart intelligentsia,
Yes.
and our future is off world. But because we not understanding the land, we're not connected to the land. We don't even have we're not even thinking about 20, 50 years in the future. Or we think that white folks give a fuck about us to the degree that we'll be here with them. That's not true. They're out. And if you won't be able to afford it, you won't be going
Um,
with them.
they also have underground cities as well. A lot of underground
There's just
cities
a
as
show,
well.
Paradise. And it's crazy that you say that because a lot of these tech folks are in Colorado, Denver,
Yeah.
Aspen, and in those mountains, and they are building underground bunk, but they got big
Yeah,
money out there.
they're diverting a lot of resources to these underground cities, miles of underground roads, supermarkets, everything
It's insanity.
underground. So, I and I, this is why on this platform we talk about what we are going to do in terms of building an alternative, because I find that as Black people we're very reactive. Historically we've been reactive, and that doesn't give us time to ideate. I don't know if you saw the episode we did with brother Eric in Baltimore.
Oh, word. No, I
Yeah,
didn't. But
yeah,
that's brother Eric.
but we were
Black
talking
Healed.
about the power of imagination, and that
Mm.
everything begins with imagination and visualizing what we want to see, and then working toward building and manifesting that. Your brother manifests, so you know what you're talking about. But I give thanks for the work that you're doing, and this is why um, I feel so blessed. My network continues to expand. I just met the brethren last year in Africa, in Ghana, with a group of dynamic, powerful Pan African people dealing with food, and it really gave me hope that Black people were getting our act together, and we don't have to reinvent the wheel. People are doing positive work, and that's
Mhm.
why I want the Lion Pride to be a part of that positive solution.
Yeah, man.
Before we seal up this interview, we still have some time left, but before we seal up, I'm going to ask you to share how people can support what you're doing
Oh,
financially,
check.
because one of the things that we want, our philosophy over here is put capital in the hands of the workers. You know what I mean? The
Let's
people who
go.
are doing the work, let's direct resources to them. And that's how we're going to fund our liberation, is
That's it.
by putting we may not have $1 million put down, but if we can have 50,000 people give $10 to a person, that's $500,000 right there that can fund
That's
a
it.
project, that can,
That's
you
it.
know what I mean? So I really
That's
want
it.
to put that into our Lion Pride movement that we're building here,
Mhm,
and we
mhm,
give
mhm.
thanks
Yeah,
for that.
yeah,
And
yeah.
I want
Oh,
I
so
want
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, go ahead.
We can talk about that as we do. We run the philanthropy. We got a 501c3. Happily Natural Day is a registered nonprofit. Like we do get down. That's how I know about the dude that's investing in deep tech, because I was in a room at a live auction at somebody's foundation, and I'm sitting next to the guy. He's like, "Yeah, man, deep tech," and I had to Google it. I had to look it up. Like, oh wow, oh. Like this is what's happening in this world. But yeah, $5, $10, y'all donate to the Lions Talk. You know what I mean? This work is important, and it's important for us to fund us. But a big part of our conversation is about land and how we leverage land as a tool for capital development in our works. It's a strategy that has been underutilized in Black and Brown communities. How we're able to access um, resources based on our land, whether it's selling timber on it or renting it out for camping or Airbnbs or eco or agritourism, or even some strategies might be as complex as conservation easements. We farm, and we use conservation easements and agritourism as tools for building revenue for our movement and work. And just in general too. I mean, I guess and like for me, it's also like, us having land and being able to build structures that we can live on in them leaves us with a lot more flexibility in terms of how we use our capital revenue. So if you don't have to pay a mortgage, you can say no to a lot of things in the world. We currently farm. A lot of our work is also based on income generation. We do get some grants, but we run a produce delivery service. Folks can cop veggies from us. We deliver it to your doorstep, and we can move big units. One of our biggest products, one of the most popular item we sell during the summertime is watermelons. And when I say we sell watermelons, I mean I sell watermelons by the bin, like 30, 40 watermelons at a time, wholesale and retail. And we will travel, what I'm saying, for the right price to get you what you need, on top of whatever else you might be looking for. Just did a play with one of our farmer friends down in Charleston, South Carolina, on some melons, like 300 melons. Last week or a week before last? Some peaches and organic honey. A couple weeks ago, we was just up in Baltimore, selling a couple bins of melons to your boy Eric from Black Yield. You know what I'm saying? We just linked up with him.
Yes.
My brother Ross Kofi just was up in Detroit from Atlanta with organic melons in tow. So like these are the supply chains that we are working that we are trying to build, that we have built, that
Yeah.
exists.
I
You know what I
love it.
mean?
I love it.
This is not an imaginary work. This is like we're in it. And the question
And I
is
feel
like,
so blessed that I know the item. I just feel blessed that I know, names that you're calling are people I know well. And I encourage people to build relationships with farmers and to support their local farmers. One of the things that we do is that um, we encourage that connection. Those, to go to your local farmers market, start reasoning with the brethren them who are growing food, find out, build that link so that if the case comes when there's no food in the grocery store, you can pick up the phone and call somebody.
who's
And
already en route? Like
you
who's
see what I'm
who's
saying?
coming through this area? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. You see what I'm saying? So that's what we're dealing with. I see someone in the comments trying to spread division. I want my lion pride. Just let him reveal himself as a divider. You're coming in. The peepers, they're part of every ecosystem, and it's part of a healthy ecosystem because you love the content so much. You have to come and watch the content.
Yeah. The
Um,
distractions.
Yes, but
we
we
we got a
already
deep
know
build right now. We have
at this hour, and I'm gonna ask you a question. At this hour, anybody who's coming with a division agenda, we already know who they serving. I mean, divide and rule is the only plan. You know what I mean? So anybody you
It's a
see
distraction.
coming with that, just know who they are, who they represent, and just leave them at that because unity is
It's
an
a
acceptable
distraction from
goal.
the encodement that we calling out right now, brother. We
Yes,
blowing this uncodement
they
and people
feel
hearing it.
the heat. They feel the heat. We're talking about
Oh
food. We're
yeah,
talking about work. We're not
right.
talking about theory.
Because anybody
And
can get into this work, what we talking about right now, especially with
yes,
these watermelons, especially with this produce. Like this is real time food security, food sovereignty action. So like wherever you might be on this call, like we talking about how do we get produce, how do we get value added products, and I just so working talking to the sister from the Virgin Islands, trying to see how we can navigate that. Man, my brother went down to Costa Rica recently. We was like, okay, we can hit this leg, like talking about Ghana. Like these, the systems exist.
Yes.
We just got to figure out who's plugging in.
Who's
Like, and
plugging in?
this is why I love ag. So why I love agriculture as my one of the elders, Baba Oduno Tariq,
Yes.
rest in power. Baba Oduno was a member of the UNIA. He was one of our early influences, and he told us that
Yes.
there's no culture without
Legend.
agriculture. And this
Legend.
is the thing about Marcus Garvey that people don't understand. Marcus Garvey was organizing a Pan-African food system. Okay, this is the piece that you get diverted from when white folks get to talking about it because they try to just summarize it as back to Africa. But you
Yes.
gotta remember, I went to Costa Rica. Costa Rica was the first place that Garvey set up a Liberty Hall at. He was from Jamaica, but when he went to Panama and then ended up
Yes.
down in Costa Rica, in Limon, the black side of Costa Rica, his Liberty Hall is still standing there. Okay, right? And so the fact that he was organizing farmers is the reflection of what I'm talking about, what's happening right now. Everybody don't have to farm, but who does the shipping? Everybody don't have to farm, but who's importing? Everybody don't have to farm, but who's innovating? Everybody don't have to farm, but who's aggregating? Everybody don't have to farm, but who's driving the trucks? Everybody don't have to farm, but who runs the warehouse? Everybody don't have to farm, but who owns the restaurant? Everybody don't have to farm, but who runs the small scale grocery in the hood? The Arabs run every corner store inside of your hood. You go to the international market, there's food that is not inside of the American market that is a part of a whole nother supply chain. The Latino community has their own supply chain. Korean community has their own supply chain. When you go into the international market that's owned by the Koreans, they have products that are not even in English. There's a whole nother language, which tells you that they have a connection to a supply chain that they are not relying on with white folks or anybody else's system being in the way. We're the only community that doesn't have it. And we don't have it not because we don't have the ability to. We don't have it because we are not in position. We're not
Yes.
activated. Everybody want to start their own individual homestead and think they're
Yes.
gonna survive this shit. But that's not how it's gonna work.
No.
That's not how it's gonna work. It has to be regional, cross geographic reasons, across ideology, and we're doing that shit right now. So
Yes.
I'm calling on you. If you want melons and you in Baltimore, holla at your boy. You know what I'm saying? Let's have a conversation. If you're
Definitely.
looking for neem oil from West Africa, you're looking for coffee from Ethiopia. Like we can do this. It's the people are there. Coconuts from Costa Rica, coconuts from Jamaica, from the Bahamas. What from the Virgin Islands? We just
Yes.
was with Mama Bonita and
Yes.
everybody
Yes.
else that was from Ross
No,
Coble,
no stranger to the platform either. Big up Mama Bonita.
Ross
You know,
Bobby, all of them. They was there.
Raspberry. See the brethren is family. I just want the item to know this is why we don't waste time with the vision, because we got so much work to do. We got so much things that are happening that are positive. He's not talking about theory. He's talking about
It's not
what people
abstractions.
are doing. No, we're talking about now how do we scale, and this is where the people who are watching this comes in. You may not have been aware all of this work was happening. I want to bring up the website here. This is the Happily Natural website. Very nice website. There's a donate button here. So we're asking Lion Pride family, send your 5, your 10, your 20. I know we got a couple millionaires watching. You can drop a 10,000. We got people dropping 10,000 in a strip club. We
Let's go.
want to drop 10,000 on the festival. And what we do here is when people are having festivals, no matter if you can attend, because these are black-owned brands. This is the infrastructure. This is the architecture of the post-Babylon world that we are building. We want these brands to thrive. So we're asking our global family to just give some strength to the brethren. And this is a massive festival. I want the item know this is not no little person or try a thing. The brethren is too humble sometimes, but he has to be because he's divinely inspired and it comes with the divine inspiration that the brethren is moving with. So of course he's humble. But I'm here to sound the trumpet to let you know that this is a big deal for the Lion Voice Network to have the brethren on the platform. And this is one of the legends of tomorrow that, you know, the history book, that Pan-African history book will write about Happily Natural, will write about Duron Chavis, his team. He's not by himself. He has a team that he works with, a queen, a family man, you know what I mean?
Right.
So this is major. And we are all about the unity here and showcasing the functional, you use the term functional unity. You know what
That's
I mean?
Functional unity. I don't have to put my jeans on the same way you put your jeans on, bro. It's okay. You know what I'm saying? But we can unify around the practical things that we need to do to live and stay in sync on how we build systems that support each other. For me, functional unity is I got relationships with the Rasta family. I got relationships with my Nation of Islam family. I got relations with my Nation of Gods of Earth family, with my African traditional religion family, from the hood cats that's on the corner, you know what I mean, to my Christian Catholics, like whatever you, my agnostics and atheists, like we all in this together, and we all eat, and we all need shelter, and we all need clothes on our back, we all need medicine, you know what I'm saying, we all need toilet paper. Like, who make the toilet paper in our community, bro?
Yes,
We all
exactly.
use it.
And we can't be naive to think that other people are going to prioritize our needs. It's beautiful to work with other communities, but blessed is the child that has its own, or blessed are the parents that have their own, because we're not the child, we're the parents of humanity. We need to have our own, in addition to working with others, but we need to have our own. Brother Eric raised a very important point to your point about the homesteading, is that it takes an acre of food to feed one person, you know, when they do the research, and to have the 2,000 calorie diet. So we got to look at this realistically in terms of scale. Everything that we're doing, we got to think about scale. So the individual thing doesn't work. You know what I mean? And
work.
even the defense of that individual portion, because other communities are joining up together. You got militias that are training for when the system collapses. You know, so if you by yourself, you know what I mean, you're putting yourself at a disadvantage. So we got to build this network, and it's being built. And
that's what I was gonna say. It's already here. It's not something that we had to create from scratch. It already exists. It
and
already exists. That's the most important part.
Yeah, I want to big up the National Black Food and Justice Alliance as well, doing some great work. The institution that is giving grants.
We're a member organization of the National Black Food Justice Alliance. There's a powerful movement that's happening right now, brother. I want you to understand. Regional organizing of Black food justice organizers all up and down the East Coast, Midwest, and then headed west. And then plus internationally. It was the National Black Food Justice Alliance that helped me get to Ghana with Baba Kashan at Kazi. And so, you know, this is it's an exciting time. It's an exciting. There's somebody in every part of the United States now that I know of that's growing food, that's trying to build Black food justice or Black food sovereignty. Like just about every state. Just about every state.
It's real.
And then the Virgin Islands, and then Jamaica, and then Costa Rica. The places I've been, everywhere I go, it's Black people that's doing this. It's just about how we connect the dots and stay in sync and connection with each other and practice functional unity and support each other. It's live.
How do you feel about this diaspora war that they're pushing on the internet?
That's
Oh, it's
giving
the I
so much
think it's
attention.
my hypothesis is that the diaspora wars is a AI COINTELPRO logic model that was thrown into the mix specifically to see if the government can use the internet to destabilize Black liberation and Black
Hmm.
social change movements.
Hot.
I really feel like that because it happened at the same time that when all the shit started coming up, track the rise of AI and the
Yes,
rise of the diaspora war.
it's true.
It almost syncs up synonymously with the year of return. Like
Yeah, it's true.
when Ghana launched the year of return is when the shits first started. People started talking about um machine learning,
Yes.
um large language models, even like Meta, and they're like all these laws and shit like that started going on in the book. I think that they've been using this shit through the technology and creating algorithms to buzz that type of content specifically into Black and brown people faces. Because if you notice, I don't know no white people that even know that there's a diaspora war happening.
It's true.
That they don't even, that's not a conversation that crosses their feed. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying?
It's
So
on, it's in the algorithm.
it's in the algorithm. It was a bug that was put into the system in order for us to see that type shit and think that it's bigger than what it actually is. Because it's
Yes.
not. It's not real.
And I say, because all of the African Americans that I know are Pan African, I mean, that are doing
And we
actual
went to
work.
Ghana. We was in Ghana. It's not real. It's not real. We were in Ghana, like 10 toes on the ground, walking around in Ghana, in the streets of Ghana, and people don't. This is not a real thing. Whatever you think you saw or heard on the internet, it's not real in real life. I was there. My wife was in Uganda. She was in Uganda at the same time. My wife was in Uganda at the same time I was in
Okay.
Ghana. And so
Okay.
she'll testify. It's not
Yes.
real. It's
It's
not a
not
thing.
real.
It's
No.
not a thing in Ghana. We was in Costa Rica. It wasn't a thing in Costa Rica. We was in Jamaica. It wasn't a thing in Jamaica. Like, where is this happening other than on the internet?
I love that. We're gonna clip that up and send it on the road because it's very important that we speak on it and push back against that narrative. This
It's
is
not
why
real.
we have our own platforms. This is my brother, born and raised in America. I was born in Jamaica, raised in Canada. We had Ghanaians at Kazi. We had
The
Caribbean. I
brother
mean,
Bashir was from
but yeah,
Sudan, and he
yes,
by way of Canada. Is
yeah,
not real.
yeah, we have a different reality that we can testify to. So I really give thanks for the brother because I think the same thing. I think the same thing that it is part of COINTELPRO and with the biggest thing. That's why I say divide and rule is literally the only plan that colonialism has. And one of the biggest threats from the early days was Black Americans specifically linking up with the diaspora. This was what made Malcolm dangerous. This is what made Martin Luther King dangerous when they started to make their struggle about human rights and international.
Exactly.
This is when they became threats and destroying that connection
But
between. Yeah.
it started insidiously, because
Yes.
remember it began at first. It was a conversation. It wasn't about continental Africans. It was
Yes.
first. It was like about Afro Latinas. It was
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, there's no such thing as Black Puerto Ricans, and we're like,
Yeah.
what? Like, I know somebody from Puerto Rico right now that's blacker than, you know what I mean? Like, all
Yeah.
I know they black as midnight. I know a
Yeah.
brother from Grenada who's black,
Yeah.
but he speaks Spanish. So he's
Yes.
technically Afro Latino. And they was like, oh no, they're not really Latino.
Yeah.
Because so it's all
Yeah.
psychological,
Attacking, yeah,
yeah.
from all different angles.
To try to
And
isolate each of us in our own homestead.
yes, yes, so we can be controlled and manipulated. And this is why I think food is a perfect unifier because everybody, as you say, has to eat. regardless of your ideological, because sometimes we get caught up in the ideological debate and the intellectual flexing. We get caught up in that. But food, every father who has children knows the weight of feeding a family. Every mother who has children knows the weight of feeding a family. So food is something that I think is a great foundation for our liberation. And you can't fight a struggle if you can't feed yourself at the end of the day. So I love the work that you're doing. I think it's one of the most important, if not the most important work that's happening right now. And I love to hear that you have connected with Bobo Selassie, all of these that work that germinated at Kazi, that I was a witness to as taking on life and is now bringing forth fruit. I love it.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. I got I got products. I can't find. Oh, hold on. Let's see if I can find it.
Yes.
Happily Natural Moringa powder.
Yes.
This me and Ross Bobo working together. We got this imported the Moringa powder was imported from Ghana. We bagged it, got the branding on it, and now it's heading out into the streets.
I love it. I love it.
Right now. And we met the same time we met you.
That's what I said.
We saw
That's
you.
what I said. No, that's why I love it. And then now we're using the media to get the sound out because we would love you all to advertise what you're doing, whatever works. The platform, we're building it for that because we believe in having our own ecosystem. And right now we're on YouTube, but we're going to be evolving to our own platforms. We're going to have to launch our own satellites. We're going to have our own internet. We know, but we got to start somewhere. Talk about the work that you're doing in terms of reparation, reclaiming land.
Oh, thank you.
Virginia, yes.
Yeah, so our organization received 80 acres in 2023 as an act of reparations from a white couple who wanted to give their land to black farmers. We started a community land trust to house that land for it to live in a legal entity that was owned by the community, that is owned by the community, people who farm on that land. We ended up buying another 5 acres in collaboration with this white-led organization that helped us raise the money, but that's ours. And then the city of Richmond gave us, or is transferring the 5 acres under one of our main farms, Sankofa Community Orchard, to us. And just this past April, we got another 60 acres that was transferred to us. That 60 acres is huge and of major importance because it is the former campground for the United States Colored Troops. The United States Colored Troops was the Black Liberation Army that marched on the city of Richmond, ushering in the surrender of the Confederate Army, ending the Civil War.
Okay.
So this land that we just got access to, that we just got ownership of, I should say, is where they camped, is where they slept. You know what I'm
Wow.
saying? The different regiments before they ended the Battle of Newmarket Heights and some of those last battles, there was fought on the perimeter that the land that we own was got our blood in the soil. You know what I'm saying? The land is 15 minutes from the Shirley Plantation, which is the first plantation in what is now known as the United States of America. The first plantation in Virginia is Shirley Plantation, right? The same family that owned Shirley Plantation during slavery times owns that plantation in 2026, right? 15 minutes from this land that we just got ownership of. So for us, land-based reparations is a pivotal aspect to our work. It's been a game changer in how we show up because we have permanence. We are in place. This is ours. We're building infrastructure, right? We have a consistent practice that takes place at these spaces that we own. And in tandem with that, we have longitudinal relationship with the land. You know what I'm saying? In the space, the land itself transformed right before your very eyes. The folks that want to be a part of the practice or part of the movement are able to see the evolution occur as they volunteer with us and spend time with us, and then some of them even evolve into working for us or with us. High collaboration. We're putting housing on land. We tried to do that on land we didn't own, and it didn't work. So now we're in the process. We just built our first tiny home um, on one of our properties. It's like a 200 square foot, 199 square foot cabin. It only cost us like $20K, right, to do. Off grid situation, but we about to put
Nice.
electricity, put solar on it, and the rainwater collection and all that type of stuff. But we literally finished putting the roof up today. You know what I'm saying? On that, we got a biotech home that we're building on the 80 acres that we own, the first land piece of land that we got. And so, yeah, man, we're going from just growing food to growing communities, literally, in terms of building homes that are in proximity to the farms that we own, so that the people that want to train and learn how to farm or have ownership of farms themselves will have a place to inhabit while they farm with us. You know what I mean? It's all about trying to create these systems so that people can access and participate in this vocation, but also recognizing food and shelter are the two things you can't go without. Like the clothing piece, people do a lot of different things for clothes. You know what I'm saying? But clothing, you might buy some clothes today and
Yes,
you
yes,
might not,
yes.
you know what I'm saying? But you're gonna eat every day.
That's
You
right.
need a place to stay every day. I might buy a t-shirt, pair of jeans, maybe once every couple months. But whatever the case may be, our goal is really about building liberation zones, spaces that we own, that we have control over, and land-based reparations is an integral part of that work. What comes along with that is just a lot of internal repair, though, because a lot of us don't even understand how we need to be in right relationship with the land. We're very disconnected from the land. And so, like, getting people synced up with the rhythms of the seasons, understanding how we grow food, how trees develop, and then just in terms of like the housing part, like, it's a different, you have a different relationship to movement work when you're like, oh yeah, we just built the house. You know what I'm saying? Like, it puts a lot of these conversations in the back seat, because it's like, all right, well, after we then chanted down Babylon and screamed on the white man, and we did like read every final call issue there is in every book, and got on the debate and this, that, and the third, and watched this and that. Where do I lay my head at night?
Yeah.
Where I go to sleep at? Right? And if our movements are not concerning themselves with creating places where our radical leaders and soldiers that are on the front lines can actually live, then what are we doing? Like, what's going
Serious.
on? How you gonna talk? How you gonna talk about revolution and talk about movements for freedom, but we still slaving to a mortgage?
Hmm.
You got to pay rent next month.
Serious.
You know what I'm saying? So you only gonna talk as much as you can to, like, you know what I mean? Up until that mortgage is threatened. Like, you might not, you might have to say, you might have to be quiet in order to make sure that that check come in for the mortgage next week. But when we take the mortgage off the table and we take the food take the food out of the equation, I got a system of connectivity where my food is in that. It's like Fannie Lou Hamer taught us, food is a political weapon, because as long as somebody controlling your food, they can, you know, like a carrot on a stick. Are you
Yes,
gonna talk trash? I'll
exactly.
take it
Of
away. You gonna
course,
talk
of
trash
course,
about?
of
Yeah, you
course.
better just be satisfied with what you got, because if you
That's
don't,
right.
be complacent. I'm gonna take their food away. You know, Thomas Sankara taught us the same thing, but on a different, you know what I'm saying, in a different part of the globe. You know what I'm saying? In Burkina Faso. What Thomas Sankara was talking about and Fannie Hamer, we're talking about are the same thing.
Serious.
Thousands of miles apart. Saying under totally different conditions, you know what I'm saying, in terms of like the enemy, but still dealing with the same principles in terms of
Same
the enemy.
principle. And I think this is the evolution of our movement or return to the origin. As you say, Marcus Garvey was dealing with food. Booker T. Washington, you know, when we were segregated, we understood the importance of having our own systems after, you know, Reconstruction famously in America.
Exactly.
You know, black people were booming. You know, we had
Yeah.
black towns all over America, not just
Even in the UK, we talk about it in
yes.
the UK too, man. I've been to London, I've been to Brixton. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? And they got the story. It's wherever we are, man. It shows itself. We always have had systems of self sovereignty, self interdependence. We've always had it. It's only in recent years that we've had interruption in terms of our like internal directional uh tools, like, you know, our inner gauges of where to go, like our GPS. Our inner GPS is spinning out of control in this moment, you know, because somebody put a bug in the algorithm and got us thinking that we supposed to be diaspora wars or what have you. Like, or and not even, you know, got us disconnecting, thinking again that this is an individual struggle, but it's
Yes.
not.
It's
It's
not.
not. It's not. It's we are all African communalism, Pan Africanism. Like we supposed to be working this thing together, bro. This is the only way. And I see it. I mean, I'm telling you, man. If any Pan Africanist goes to the international market, you'd be like, yo. And then so I bet so feel me. I'd been knowing about the international market. Then I went to Ghana.
Yeah.
And I went to the mall in Accra. And I was like, oh man, what the fuck? Bruh. Hey, look, I tell you no lie. After I seen that, I said, oh, I'm done. Yeah, we already got it.
Yeah.
It
Everything.
already exists. Like, because they got us on this diaspora war bull, you don't even know that there's all the systems for us to exist and thrive without any interference from anybody else exist already.
And that's why that's the biggest fear that they have, is that not that we fight their system, is that we withdraw from their system.
Just
That's the
drop it,
biggest
bro.
fear. That's
Just
the
drop
biggest fear. But that's why they
Just let
come
it
with a
go.
divide and rule agenda. You know what I mean? And
Yo.
they program and they poison the minds of some of our naive brethren and sistren. And they start to preach this kind of divisive mentality. You know what I
This
mean?
is
This is
Sankofa,
it's a
man.
virus
They
that
trying to
is
block our
impacting our
Sankofa
people.
codes. Because
Yes.
that Sankofa codes is chirping all. I mean, it's ridiculous. Like, yo, Garvey was right. He shows
But
you without the internet, without the internet, he was able to. Without the internet, Marcus Garvey was able to organize millions of African people all across the globe with a newspaper.
yes,
I don't think people like, and we got supercomputers in our pockets.
yes.
Garvey organized millions of people with a newspaper. Okay, that's. I mean, you got and look, and I'm talking like in rural places. Not like, oh, just these are the border towns. These are the towns along the coast. These are the major ports. No, he was like the word of the UNIA was in Mississippi.
But listen to this, even greater than that, because you talk about Ghana that has the black star on the flag, and that year of return, remember, generated over $1 billion US.
You heard.
Right after that, COVID hit, the pandemic hit and shut
Yeah.
everything, the whole world shut. If that pandemic doesn't come, that next year would have been a tidal wave
Oh my God.
of people leaving the West, going home.
Oh my God.
They just slowed it down, because even the last time I went to Ghana, which was last year when I met the eye, on the flight there was so many Black Americans on the flight, you know what I mean? And I've
Yeah.
been going to Ghana since 2005. When I first went to Ghana, it was white people and Ghanaians. That was the only people that you would see on the flight that were going. When I went this time, it was groups. It was at least 4 or 5 different travel groups that were
Yeah.
going. People from Texas, Louisiana,
Crazy.
you know what I mean? And these are not Pan-African people that you would quote unquote call. These are just Black people that would usually go to Paris, or they'd go to Mexico, Cancun.
Yeah.
They're going to Accra now. They want to go to Cape Coast. You know what I mean? So
Kumasi.
it's Kumasi. You know what I mean? It's a sea change, and this is the fear. This is why, as you said, after the year of return, and I never really thought of it as you said that, but it's so true. Right after that, that's when you really start the diaspora war kick up.
And again, I can't reiterate it enough, bro.
Yeah.
We were there. We were on the streets. We were on the streets of Accra.
Yes.
Like in amongst the people, bro. And it's not no diaspora war as far as I can tell. Like I ain't seen nobody.
I'm back and forth. I can tell you with confidence that's foolishness, and of course, Bingy Sean, who's there as a living test. The
They embraced us
relationship,
with open arms.
the relationship that you saw with Liate Wote, speak on as before we finish, and we're gonna go back to Happily Natural. Before we finish, talk about your experience at the Kwaku Ando Sustainability Institute.
Oh yes, Lord. So before I say that, I gotta tell, I met Baba Kashan in 2000, probably like 9, 10 or something like that. And we were doing Happily Natural Day, and we at one point we were doing Happily Natural Day in Atlanta. And I met Kashan, Ross Kofi, and Baba Tanisio, all at the same time, and at the festival. Kashan was running Habasha, and I saw his work at the Omanala Griot Museum in the Paul Dunbar Center, and I was like, "Yo, this is inspiring. I love it." And so I watched him before doing this ag work and taking kids to Ghana. Right? I just knew about his work. To actually visit the Kwaku Ando Sustainability Institute was like, yo, this is the power of manifestation exemplified, because the brother had a vision and created the eco village, the agro hood right up the block from the Liate Wote village. We stayed on the land for weeks at a time. It was total bliss, comfort. I had a chance to sleep by the river, next to the creek, sacred waters. Best sleep I've ever had in my life, brother. The first time I went to Ghana, I will always tell the story. I got to sleep by the sacred waters
Yes.
overnight and just download, all of the insights from my ancestors here, just pouring into me, telling me what time it was. But yo, it was beautiful, man. It was it was beyond beautiful. It was necessary.
Yes.
We had a chance to walk the farm. The system is sustainable, solar powered, using biogas. The very bricks were built from the grounds of the land there, man. And you would not it changed my perception of what I thought was possible.
Yes.
I knew this was possible. I imagined like that Kashan and them was doing a mighty work in Africa. But when I got there, my brother, I was blown away. I I was I've been still. I try to tell people about it, man. I'm
Yeah.
speechless still to this day. I'm still speechless because it's like, yo, cabins, hostel apartments. You got the commercial kitchen, the learning spaces, places for. It was like 30 of us, and we stayed at
Yeah.
Kazi comfortably. Ate every
Yeah.
day, 3 meals a day, all vegan. This was the way it rocked, bro. It was amazing. It was insane. It was insane. It made me feel like, yo, what are we doing? What again, this whole trip to Ghana for me, I came home with a huge case of I don't care about what y'all talking about on these internets and out here and these MySpace social media streets. I've seen what it looks like for us to be self-determining and create systems for us to live and feed ourselves on a regular basis without anybody's intervention, like us creating the relationships with our local communities, building functional unity with community members. Like going to Ghana was like, yo, and seeing Kazi and knowing that Kashan is from here and grew up, you know what I'm saying, here and did his
Yeah.
thing and then like went
In the
and
deep south. In the
created the
deep
model.
south. Yeah. It's not like
Yo,
he's from New York or LA. He's from
from
Georgia. You know what
he's
I
from
mean?
Georgia,
Down.
man. He was Yo, Kishan is an inspiration, man. I mean,
Yeah.
and I know it's a community of people around him, but I also understand vision. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? And when you have a vision and it's been placed in your heart to do a work, brother, like, yo, he I think for I could speak for myself. He it was a bar that Kashan set, Habisha set for me when I
Yes.
first met him.
Yes.
I was like, oh, they can do that. I can do that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like
Yeah.
it made me. I knew I wanted to do, but I hadn't seen it. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying from us before. I had never. So before I met Kashan and them, I had never seen urban agriculture by Black people in a
Yes.
real way.
Yes.
I'd seen it kind of like couple school gardens, people raise beds and shit. You know
Yes.
what I'm
Yes.
saying?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
But I'd
Yes.
never seen like African culture, like us articulating us in the space, front and center, clear without apology. And so to see what he did in the States and then see it represented in Kazi and then lifting up Baba Tariq, Baba Duno, Kwaku
Yes.
Ando, Marimba Ani, all of the people that's lifted up there. Um, yeah, man. No words, bro.
Yeah.
I just if you got to see it. Anybody that's going to Ghana, I tell them they need to check in with Kishan. That's it.
Yeah.
Yo, if you're going to Ghana,
It's
you
a
gotta go.
healing
You gotta
space.
you gotta see
It's a
Kwaku
healing
Ando.
space. It was
Yeah.
designed like that intentionally because we said we have to have a space for Black people to heal and to learn and to really reintegrate into who we are, taking the best of what we have from the West, merging it with the local indigenous
Mhm.
population.
Mhm.
We just did a elder care day at Kazi where we had all the elders
Uh,
from the village come to the Kazi and get, they got their massage, they got their whole full treatment, royal treatment.
that's
These are the
amazing.
kind of things that as we return, that we are building those bridges. Big up Bingi Shan,
Mm.
for the work. And it's a lot of sacrifice, we also want to recognize he had a lot of sacrifice, a lot of camping
Mhm.
in
Right.
construction sites,
Right.
foregoing the luxuries, so now when people
Mhm.
see it, we always want to remind them that the brother, as you said, had the vision to really spearhead and see that vision through
Mhm.
to
Mhm.
fruition. I'm honored to be a part of that work. Um, Before we let you go, we're on overtime, but it's so sweet. It's my brethren, so I have a reason with him. Talk about your queen and the importance of
Oh,
family to the work because
oh my
uh,
God.
in Ghana the brethren was talking, just lifting up the queen, and I mean, powerful, couldn't
Yeah,
stop
man. My
talking great
wife
great
is a
things. Yeah,
force.
yeah, yeah.
My
Talk
wife,
about it.
my wife is a force. Kaya Ellis Chavis, she's amazing, man. My wife is a maternal health worker. She's a midwife, a black midwife, here in Central Virginia. My wife delivers babies for a living, man. This is what she
Right.
does. She works with a local uh, birthing center, and she's on call. She helps women um, give birth, and then she also trains doulas. So doulas are more like support for midwives or support for expecting mothers or birthing persons. And so she trains them, she puts them into a collective, and then she helps them get births to help support these women, and not only their before they give birth, but also postpartum. Like, I don't know if y'all ever, I know a lot of brothers might not understand this, but this is important. If you just had a baby with your wife, the period after she has delivered is a critical period. It's a very important time. And if she is overwhelmed and struggling, you know what I'm saying, as a new mother, like, you might want to think about finding you a postpartum doula, someone that can help you with the baby, you know what I'm saying, to help y'all understand everything from the breastfeeding to just helping y'all get some rest, help you clean up around the
Yes,
house and shit like
yes,
that. Because postpartum depression is vicious, and it often breaks relationships
yes,
because you don't understand that your wife is going through physiological changes, also emotional and psychological changes as a new parent. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And you are going through it too, but you not. It's not like she's going through it. Her body goes through a whole metamorphosis. We try to be supportive, but we in our communities a lot of times men are taught to be absent, not that we're not taught to how to be engaged
yes.
with that process. You know what I'm saying? And so not only um is a midwife dope, you know what I'm saying, because the midwife, my wife, does that. She talks to the expecting dads too about,
Okay.
how what their role is going to be. um she got into this work right before COVID, and I've watched her evolve in it. She helped start organizations.
Wow.
The organization called Birth and Color. She's one of the co-founders of that here in our region. But she was more so interested in, like, how to make this work for herself as an individual versus like being a part of a nonprofit thing. But so she started her own collective, like a co-op, with other doulas. But then she realized the doulas weren't enough, and she needed to learn how to actually give birth. So my wife trained and has been trained to and studied to become a midwife, and now she's been going to Uganda for the last 3 years with an organization called Mother International. One of our friends here in the States is a co-founder where they created a birthing village in the
Okay.
outskirts of uh God damn, I can't think of it. In a town called Atiak
Okay.
in Uganda, and so it's
Okay.
basically off grid. It's basically it's like Kazi,
Yes.
but for birthing persons. So it's a place where all of the women who are having babies in that area come to have their baby. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
Nice.
And so there's midwives that live in the village. You know what I'm saying? And when you come, anybody come, they help you. Yeah, they basically
Nice.
walk you through the process of having your baby, and then you go home after you've been there for a little while. Um, so she that watching her go through the evolution, and then like now landing in East Africa, um uh doing these 3 week stays at in Atiak has been just, as I mean, proud is not a word. I mean, I'm inspired.
Of
She
course.
was she had been, she got to go.
she went to Uganda before my wife had touched Africa before I did. And I'm like, that how's that? You got to go to the continent before I did. You know what I'm saying? It was not like it was a race, but I'm just
Yes,
saying, like it was like, yo, this is amazing. Just I'm inspired.
yes, yes, yes.
And then when I went for the first time, we went to the airport together. And she got on her flight to go to Uganda, and I got on my flight to go to
To Ghana.
to
Wow.
go to Ghana. You know what I mean?
Where is your wife from? Is she from Virginia as well?
Yeah, she's from Virginia too. My wife is from born and raised in the city
Okay,
as well.
nice.
Yeah, yeah. So
Um,
yeah, my wife is Gullah Geechee. Her
okay.
family is her family roots is in South Carolina, in St. Andrews, South Carolina. We've visited there. Um, I've been with my wife for 10 years. And so
Beautiful.
we've
Beautiful.
been together for a lifetime. For me now, it's really been an amazing person for me to grow from and learn from. She's helped me slow down.
Yes.
I used to be a lot more charged up, and just I used to have a different orientation to the work where a lot of my self-worth was tied
Yes.
up into me doing community-based work, and not
Yeah.
like just inherently like I'm valued, and like
Yes.
what I'm
Yes.
saying.
Yes.
So my
Yes.
wife has taught
Certain.
me a lot about how just to slow down. And then as we've built our family together, it's just also helped me root deeper into like pausing and smelling the flowers in my marriage. But also I'm a grandparent, we're grandparents, so spending time with our grandchildren. Like we
Hmm.
have a 3-year-old and then a 1-year-old. And
Wow.
it's given me a deep sense of like, again, the work that I get the pleasure of doing, I get to do it with my best friend, but at the same time, like we are doing this for generations to come. And
Yes.
she's gifted me with that as as the other side of my coin. Um, yeah,
Beautiful.
man, it's
Oh,
yeah,
that's
my
beautiful.
wife is amazing, man.
I
She's a
had,
superhero.
she is. Would just sit and listen to the brother go on about his wife in Ghana. I know, most of the brethren I know doing high level work have a queen. And I want to stress that um, my queen is by my side as well. Being Sean have his queen. I'm
Yeah,
not
man.
saying there's nothing wrong with our single brethren who are on the battlefield, but the queen really brings that balance. So we encourage brethren to
Man.
find sistren who are what they say equally yoked on the mission.
Yeah,
You
man.
know
My
that.
wife is actually she's born, but she's more about it than I am. I like to think I met my wife in the work. Like I was doing shit and she was doing shit on her own.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
I met her at a garden. Like she had kids. She brought the kids to the garden.
yeah.
Uh when we first actually met. That was like the first time we ever engaged with each other. And we've
Beautiful,
been knowing
beautiful.
each other ever since, man. It's crazy.
No, I love it. So we're gonna seal up, but I want to give you a chance just to give you a final word. So Happily Natural is happening.
Yes,
Let
the
the people
last
know how they can tune in. I will be there live. I'll try to get some footage that I can share with the family.
oh man,
Baby
Happily
Sean is
Naturally is gonna
tweeting.
be crazy.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I'm looking forward to
Yeah,
going to
man.
my first Happily Natural. So
It's gonna be
talk
a lot of
about
good
it
people.
and how people can engage.
Yeah, well, the 23rd annual Happily Natural Day is August 28th through 30th in Richmond, Virginia. We got the Black Farm Tour taking place on Friday, the 28th, Happily Natural Day on the 29th, and then another Black and Beautiful brunch on the 30th. We got Smith and Wesson performing live at the festival,
Oh,
Neptune
wow.
21. Um, Charm Taylor, Hezekiah, Crisis. Man, it's like it's a virtual who's who of of the Black conscious community, man. Kashan gonna be there, Kalanji gonna be there, Naima Penniman gonna be there, brother Imhotep Faitu's gonna be there, brother Eric. Jackson's gonna be there. Oh man, I don't know. It's like it's yeah, we're gonna have a good time. But we got some things to discuss. Barbara Ross Kofi gonna be there. The festival is broken down into like panel discussions in the beginning. Then we have a sound stage later on that night. So it's gonna be charged up. And then on Sunday we got Cyrock performing at the Black and
Serious.
Beautiful brunch. So on multiple levels, it's just a great time to be had. We encourage people, if you haven't been to Happening Natural Day before, come stay the weekend. There's a lot to take in. The Black Farm Tour is really an introduction to the ecosystem that we've developed. I talked about us owning 150 acres of land, and we take you on a bus ride to see what it looked like. You know what I'm saying? And the festival is a time for us to kick back, eat, enjoy each other's company. Um, yeah, man. I don't even know how to explain it any other way, man. This is like the black version of the 2026 version of Watt Stacks. Happens in Richmond, Virginia um every summer. And when I say that, I mean that. It's like we're very intentional about being unapologetically black. So we're not running around chasing after Sprite to sponsor us or Coca-Cola to sponsor us because we gonna say what we want to say on the stage from the mics. You know what I'm saying? We put our platform together so that we don't have to be beholden to a corporate sponsor that's not in alignment with our ultimate principles, which is the building of a black owned and controlled food system, right? We're about that life. And so yeah, it's dope, man. It's dope people, beautiful black people from all over the country. Um, people from Richmond, people from surrounding counties, people from North Carolina, Detroit is coming. I got calls coming in from Florida, Philly, Louisiana, DC, Brooklyn. Oh man. New Jersey is gonna be in the house. Oh man, it's LA cats. It's cats coming from all over the country to participate. Ghana, Baba Kashan and his family
Yes,
coming.
yes,
So
yes.
yeah, it's gonna be a gangster situation. It's really gonna be amazing. And this is our 23rd time doing it. So it's kind of like an off year. It's 23 years is nothing to shake a stick at, but I'm really gearing up for the 25th
Okay.
year anniversary as we speak. So, just kind of tilling the soil, getting everything ready, working out the kinks of the festival as we speak, so that we can, when we get to that 25th year, we can really demonstrate, what I'm saying, the not just the efficacy, but just like what the systems look like. What does it look like for us to be in control of our land and our own community? You know what I'm saying? Without anybody in the way other than ourselves. Like it's one thing for somebody else to be, it's one thing for somebody else to be in the way. And so well, nothing for us to be in our own way. What does it look like when we get out of our own way and we start building in our community and transforming the built environment? That's what Happening Natural Day is all about. And
And
you get to come kick it with us, have a time. And we having a dinner on Friday.
okay.
So Kashawn's coming on Friday. We're gonna I'm not gonna disclose the location. I'm
Don't do
just
that. Don't do that. We don't want them to roll
so
up.
we're gonna set this up. We're gonna set this up as
Yeah.
it's gonna be dope though. But essentially, yeah, we're gonna be showing. I'm working on getting all the final kinks on showing his film on Friday night, and then having him
Nice.
as a guest for the evening for a dinner.
Nice. I'm excited. As I said, I'll be coming in with the family. Um, not my daughter because she's at school, but my son will be coming as well. So I'm excited about it. These are the things that, again, are legacy building. And if you come to the website is thenaturalfestival.com. There is a donate button. You click on the donate button. It brings you to a white screen and it has a donation amount, and then it has several ways that you can pay: Apple Pay, Amazon Pay, Karma, Link, credit card. Very easy to use. I think Cash App and some other ways as well. So whatever way works for you, you can give a contribution. Again, we're asking the Lion Pride. I'm not asking our casual viewers to do anything. We're 80,000 strong over here in the Lion Pride. I'm talking to the Lion Pride. We want the Lion Pride to go give 10, 20, 50, $100, whatever you can afford. You hear the brothers doing the work. Again, our philosophy here is to put capital in the hands of the workers, and we want them to thrive. We want them to have more resources so that they can continue to scale their operation. And if a few of us act, even 1% of our Lion Pride, that's 800 people, even give $1, we're moving the needle, we're doing something. $10 even better. So again, we're making that appeal. I told you, when we bring guests on the platform, we're bringing the top tier workers in our Rastafari and Pan-African ecosystem to the table. And so these people are vetted, so you can feel strong about giving them strength. And that strength that maybe you would buy foolishness in Babylon, or maybe you would buy something that is not going to have a lasting impact, that you're just going to feed back into the system. We're saying, take some of that money, put it in your budget, so that you can be an economic engine. Use your economic tools for your own liberation. You know what I mean? So,
and we got a lot of information on the website too.
Yes,
so
a lot of pictures.
Yeah,
a lot of
it's a lot of stuff. You can click on our blog. Right now, I think I might have took it down. Let me see. Right now we got you can check out our blog. It give you a lot of tips on how to grow your own food. There's a lot of videos on our blog that just talks about all of the different things, eating healthy, you know what I'm saying, how to build your garden spaces, just just a lot of good information. And then ultimately, you can sync up with us, and we have some online classes that we have available as well. We do training a lot. We do a lot of teaching. So we're working on the online classroom. I took it down because I just want to, I'm trying to refine it to make it work. But we do a lot of education. So even if you can't come to the festival, there's a lot of stuff that you can pick up from us that will help you in your journey to activate in terms of how to grow your own food, and ultimately, hopefully, get into community with others that are doing the same.
Definitely.
TheNaturalFestival.com is the website.
TheNaturalFestival.com. This is Duron Chavis, again, one of our powerful Pan-African brothers. He's family. This is part one, Duron. We're going to have to bring you forward after the festival for a post-festival report.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, no, we don't do one. We don't do one-offs here. This is a family platform. Now you're part of the family. We're gonna have you forward, and I want to do a panel discussion with yourself, brother Eric, some of the other brothers who are doing the work. Because again, we're staying on this topic of Black food sovereignty, and really because everything else, is secondary to the food. We gotta eat.
Right.
We gotta eat. We gotta feed our children. You know what I mean? Then we can agree to disagree on everything else, and we can build everything else. But the foundation is food and water. Food and water. That's the foundation. And this is one of the brothers who is not just talking about a evolution or a revolution. He's actually living it. So big up yourself, my brother. Give your
Thank you,
final
family.
words to the global family before we sign off.
Yo, we got this. This is it's real. This is not AI generated. Everything that you see, what we got going on is in the flesh. Um, nothing's gonna start until you start. So we're looking forward to connecting with you all the other folks that's out here paying attention to this. Tap in, especially if you're in our region, especially if you are in the DMV. And then look, like there's somebody in your community that's already doing this. Tap in with them,
Yes.
plug in with them, and lock in with them because these systems we're creating not the alternative, we're building our primary system, like,
Yeah.
and to make the system we already exist in like obsolete. We're trying to I'm more focused on what I want to grow and build than what is doing the bullshit. So let's get it. I look forward to seeing y'all in the streets and have a happily natural day.
Look at Baba Keishan coming on, healing up the
Yeah.
eye.
Yes, sir.
It's a family.
Good to see.
It's a family affair over here. You know what I mean? So there you have it, family. Powerful Pan-Africanists doing the work. So I don't want to hear any loose talk about division. I don't care who the guy. You know what I mean? Unity, we say, is the only accepted goal. We don't have time to focus on what Babylon is doing. You know what I mean? We're not naive to what's happening. We stay informed about what's happening, but our focus is on the victory, is on building what the Almighty has ordained us to build. And we come with receipts. The brethren have receipts. We have resume. We have works where we can talk about, where we can show that are real touchable works that generations can be proud of. So we're not going to stop. We're going to continue. Why? Because the time has come for the lions to tell our own story. And this is the Lion Voice.
Pan-Africanism. This is Dr. Umar Ifatunde coming to you live and direct, New York City, Ethiopian World Federation 2026 conference. The time has come for the lions to tell our own story, and this is the Lion's Voice.
Empress man, alliance science. You're universally unfold, be told. Blessed love, this is Etege Aidama, and it's time for the lioness and the lions, for I voices and stories to be told. This is the Lion's Voice, Rastafari.
We're endorsing the Lion's Voice. Big up Raspasi. See?
Big up Raspasi.
It is time for the lion to tell our own story. Yes, sir.
Like this. There is a land far, far away. There is no night. There's only day. Look into the book of life. And you will see that there's a land far, far away. Raspasi! That there's a land far, far away. Speak lion. Let's speak lion. Roar lion, roar every time.
I will never stop, hail the Most High. And I will never stop, call Rastafari. Blessed love, this is Kushite representing for the Lion's Voice. We are here to tell our own story, Rastafari.
Now drop your guard when it come to them, ya youth, yeah. Them fully guard up and them quick fi execute, yeah. Now drop your guard when it come to them, ya youth, yeah. The one will laugh, I'm same one of the shooter. Watching them, this is Rasta Jai representing for the Lion Voice Network. This is the time when the lion gets to tell our own story. Haile Selassie.
What are you waiting for? Come together, calling from near and far. Know who you are. What are you waiting for? Rally up, it takes the dust. What are you waiting for? Ancestors paved the way for us. Yes, I am Ketis Oyonde, asking, what are you waiting for to come together? The time has come for the lions to tell our own story. This is the Lion's Voice.
Yes, job people, this is Michael Shemai representing. I will say, hear the Lion Voice, saying it is time for the lions and the lionesses to tell their own story. King David killed Goliath with a stone, we original dread.
Well, Lion Voice, tell them that's the people first choice. Lion Voice, make the lioness them feel nice. Lion Voice, with the lion cubs we sacrifice. Lion Voice, got to show the people them the light. Lion Voice.